apart. We can live, we can love, yes, we can spark. We can give, we can hold, we can shine together. We can all just fall apart. We can live, we can love, yes, we can spark. We can give, we can hold, we can die together. The conversation, the separation, the overlooked $1 million violations. The time to forget, to hit reset. The time you'll forget about the presets. The whole nothing back, burn up your last sack. The picture hangs on the
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Choose your command. You have chosen
the Face Off Hockey Show.
I mean, hockey is my life. I've got on hockey underwear right now.
The Face Off Hockey Show. What? With Scotty Waz. Sean O.
breakaway. Take 2 3 scores. There we go.
And the P-Boys, Johnny and Mark with the C.
Yeah, baby.
You believe it not? Oh, yes!
Here's your host for the Face Off Hockey Show, Scotty Waz.
It's always good 2 seconds before the show goes on that your internet decides to cut out on you. That's always fun to have to reboot in a hurry. But luckily, didn't miss much. Welcome, Scotty Waz here. Joined as always by Mark with us. Wait a minute. What? Hold on a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm here. Johnny P's here.
Hold on a minute.
Wait
a minute.
I'm here.
Everyone's here. All the ones here.
This is my studio.
We saw Johnny peeking out over on the side.
That was my extra arm.
Is it? Why you have extra USB and now an extra body? This isn't the Sean Leahy show. We're not that dumb. He is. We're not.
No. Sean Leahy's going to love the beginning of the show, though.
It's going to be good.
When he watches it, I mean.
Well, does he watch or does he listen? I don't know. I've never understood.
I'm not sure either. We have an extra seat just in case too.
Mm-hmm. Just in case Giuseppe decides to show up.
I'm going to do something crazy here.
What's this? You want to switch?
My left ear in the right ear.
Oh yeah, that one only comes in one ear. Sorry.
My right ear in the left ear. No, it's mainly
weird.
so I can get the cord out of my way.
Well, that helps too.
All right, much better.
There you go. Look at you guys go.
Yeah.
So, nice, fancy.
I'm all dressed up for tonight's occasion. I mean, it's 2 nights before Christmas. It's Christmas Eve.
It's Festivus.
He looks fantastic. I don't.
No.
But Mark's also wearing purple. Black and purple.
Boom. Both of you looking sharp and dapper, I must say.
We didn't even plan this.
Well, that's good.
Because he just showed up.
There you go. So why are you there, Mark? I guess is the big question on everyone's mind.
It's on the way to Christmas.
Perfect.
So, why not?
That's actually a bumper sticker. Glenn Birdie, it's on the way to Christmas.
So I think Christmas is in Upper Anne Arundel County, I think.
Yes.
There we go. Perfect.
Obviously.
But we just decided to make a trip up. It was raining a lot. It was a biblical proportion of rain coming home today.
It was.
Nice.
It was a good thing. It's not cold here. It's not snowing.
Well, thank God for that.
Because we would have had thunder snow.
It would have been a lot of snow. Yeah, it would have been thunder snow.
Thunder snow.
That's my favorite AC/DC track.
Have you guys ever had any thunder snow up in Calgary?
Yeah, we have. It was weird. Not gonna lie. You see lightning and you hear thunder and you're like, rain. Nope, snow. Wait a minute, I'm confused. And then you're thrown off for a couple days and questioning everything.
That'll happen.
Usually. But hey, here we are as a people, and we made it. Real quick, before we go any further, confirmed guest for today. Wait a minute. What? Guest? Yeah, exactly. Matthew Harding of the Simbin.net will join us for faux show. We're waiting for somebody else to confirm or deny or just not show up, thus denying. And yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. But we'll be talking some minor league hockey. So if you're down with that, we got 2 words for you. Stick around. That's what we mean.
There you go.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, coming up with it on the spot. But gentlemen, how was your weekends, weeks, whatever the hell you want to call it?
I was telling Mark earlier. I called Fios because they charged me for Epics, and I was like, I do not want Epics, even though the Winter Classic show is on it. I do not want that channel, damn it. And they were like, oh, all right, well, we'll take it off of your bill. And by the way, your contract is coming due, so we're going to charge you $5 less a month and upgrade your internet to faster speeds. I'm like, sold. Let's make it happen. So hopefully the show. No, Epics was taken off of my bill. So hopefully the show will be crystal clear in full 75 upload, 75 download speeds, and good to go.
The future's here, Scotty.
The future
75
is
and 75.
Do you remember dial-up?
Yeah.
When you have you used to have to wait for porn.
I think there's parts of Oregon that still use dial-up. I'm pretty sure.
Sometimes I just think of porn and it shows up on my phone now.
Interesting. Google's taken over in a big, big way, it seems. I don't know if that's good or bad, but whatever. That's good. Excellent. Well, hey, good. Hopefully no more hiccups. We got that going for us.
Yeah, so that's been a good week for me. I mean, not as good as last week. You cannot top Vance Morley, I don't think.
It's hard to. It's very hard to.
But yeah, week has been good. We're heading up to Christmas tomorrow for pasta.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm sure. Yeah, every normal family eats pasta on Christmas.
White pasta.
White pasta, obviously. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, yeah, because the other stuff doesn't show up.
With the red pasta?
Exactly.
Right.
They leave after one serving. That's good. Excellent. And it's West Philadelphia, born and raised, where you boys are doing?
Yeah.
Where you spent most of your days?
But my auntie and uncle from Bel Air won't be there.
Well, you can pick them up on the way.
That's actually true.
I don't think they're going to be there either.
No, I think they're in. I think they're out of the country.
They're on vacation. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Okay. Well, whatever.
They're not in Bel Air right now.
Oh. Well, that helps. Well, good. Super.
Yeah.
Super. Mark, you have any more to add to the week?
Super Mark.
You're the same person.
I like that. It was good. My last day of work was last Thursday. I did some half day of working from home yesterday, so I did have more work to do. But I'm done going to the office for the rest of the year, which is always fun. So I'm getting a lot of errands done, most of which are
who's Aaron?
Going to the lots of errands. Most of which are just going to the doctor for me. I saw a new knee doctor. And he says that the knee is right where it's probably supposed to be as far as recovery goes, even though it feels like it should be better.
In between your shin and your humerus.
I was going to say, if he said that, then
right
you might want to get a new one.
He's like, the knee is connected to the shin bone.
The humerus is up here, by the way.
Oh, whoops.
It's okay, though.
I found this humerus.
Which one is the radius and the ulna?
I think that's, half the diameter?
Yeah, yep. It's 2 times the radius.
Humerus.
Right.
That's funny.
Times pi.
But
Depends how much pie you eat.
It's true.
And I'm also drinking what was going to be a Caucasian, but there's no milk, so it's a Black Russian.
There you go.
Are we going to call that? What are we going to call that? Is that going to get a different name?
Black Russian. I don't know any Black Russians offhand.
I mean, the closest thing I could think of was Ray Emery, but
that's a good one. I would also go with Serge Ibaka, just for the Sergi part.
Serge Ibaka?
Yeah.
Is he a Black Russian?
Oh, he's a black guy. I don't think he's Russian, but
Okay.
Maybe he just drinks a lot of Surge.
A Serge Ibaka. Serge Ibaka rolls off the tongue.
there
But
you go.
actually, it sounds like that's Chewbacca's brother.
Serge Ibaka?
Serge Ibaka. Serge Ibaka from Brazzaville, Congo. Wow, not even close to Russia.
Not even close.
Nope. Not going to happen.
Ray Emery at least was in Russia once.
For a
Not
time.
too shabby.
Yeah.
He's a quarter Jewish.
Yeah. So maybe that. I don't know. Maybe look up and see if there's any African Russians floating around. Because you can't you wouldn't. It's not easy. I mean, you wouldn't say African American Russian. It doesn't make sense.
It's true.
It's an African Russian.
One of the great questions: how many black people are in Russia right off the bat?
Like right now.
No,
there-
just people asking on the Googles.
Is there like a ticker?
Isn't it crazy how you? Isn't it crazy when you start typing anything into Google, it tries to finish your sentence with what other people
How many?
have
Like-
searched?
Yeah. No.
What was
How
the one,
How
like-
many?
What was the one that we Death searched? Do I sound gay or something? like
Yes.
that?
Do I? And then his popped up. Sound gay.
Nice. Well, he does.
And then Kirby astutely pointed out that Google's search results are a mixture of your Gmail activity, what you've searched in the past, what your web activity usually consists of, and it's all a big algorithm that gives you what they think would be your first search. It's also
Wow.
based on what people in your area search for. He
That's
was the
awesome.
only. He was the only one that had
It might
"Do I
be
Sound
time to
Gay"
play
pop up number one.
to play Google Feud again tonight.
Oh yeah,
He might.
in honor of Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oof. Oh, poor guy.
Ah,
Poor Steve Harvey.
Who cares? Look, I was talking to Death about this today, and Miss Columbia apparently had a statement, put out a
Oh, did
statement
she?
today. Yeah, but
did she have to?
no, she didn't have to.
What did Miss Ellicott City say?
I know Miss Ellicott City is oddly silent. I
She's
don't know.
probably a soccer mom and probably a biatch too.
Yeah, but my only thought on the whole situation is, why does Miss Universe need to be live? Like, couldn't that have easily been solved with a little video editing?
That's actually quite true.
What is the need for the
That's-
Miss Universe pageant to be live?
I guess
Also-
my question is, why is it still a thing?
Why
There's that too.
are there other people from outside of Earth?
There aren't.
Then
That's a good question.
how is it Miss Universe?
Yeah.
It's Miss Universe that we know of.
I guess invitations have been sent out, and they just don't choose
Uh,
to send anybody.
Well, I mean, it does take 90 light years to get to any place.
yeah, that's true.
It's like the Pro Bowl. These guys are just declining because they're just like, no, we got bigger things to worry about. It's
Mhm.
fine. We don't need to come to this.
Yeah, this new Star Wars movie's
And
coming out.
shouldn't we like go to a Miss World first?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
agree.
know
They
that there's a
did.
Miss
The problem-
America.
The problem is that whole ruined that because of the song they put out back in the 90s. Courtney Love was just destroying Miss World. It was really weird.
Is that rain that I hear outside?
Mhm.
Wow,
Nice.
biblical
it's
proportions.
Purple Rain.
Purple Rain. Yeah, I don't understand the whole Miss Universe thing, but at the same time, I did have 250,000 on Columbia.
that's
So
good.
that was
That's good. You know, it would have made it far easier if they would have brought up a family and asked the family who was the winner, and then put all the boards on the top 5 winners would have been on the board,
That's true.
and then he would have known exactly who was Miss Universe.
actually the funny thing is that Jesse Spector of the Sporting News said that this is still not the most embarrassing thing to happen to a Family Feud host in the past 25 years.
Oh,
And I think he shout out Ray Combs on that one too. So I'm like, might be a little too soon.
wow.
Eh.
Yeah, it's fine. It's 25
well.
years. 25 years
Yeah.
since he hung himself. It's all right. These things
Yeah.
happen.
What could go wrong?
Exactly. Nothing. You say the wrong name because you can't read or read too well.
I think this is stupid. What, you know what? Since you're in front of a computer, what are Miss Universe's responsibilities as Miss Universe? I want to know
Ah,
what this girl's missing out on.
Miss.
She has to talk to Miss Pluto.
Yeah. Is it keeping up intergalactic relations,
That would be awesome, actually, if that was a job.
helping people in the third world, Mars,
Mars.
or is that
yes.
Venus?
Talking?
No,
Talk-
third. I guess we're the third world. Mars would be the fourth world.
You would have to talk to Patrick Stewart a lot, I feel.
Yeah.
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 Da, 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 da.
Right.
Something about Donald Trump.
What?
Well,
Because
Yeah.
he used to host Miss Universe, didn't he?
He-
or is it that Miss America?
he owns the pageant actually.
The whole Miss Universe
I
pageant.
think he
That sounds
might.
about
I
right.
think he
Yeah.
might actually.
It's good.
Miss
Yeah,
Universe,
why-
first year's
why
international
wouldn't
pass to
it
the
be?
pursuits contest, blah blah blah. During the Great Depression, it was held. Founded by Yolandi Bitsby's, the blah blah blah. First Miss Universe pageant was held in Long Beach, won by Finland. So Finland was
All
the
right.
Miss Universe.
That's good.
I'm in support of that.
That's better than Iceland winning.
Up until September 2015, Miss Universe was a joint venture between NBC and Donald Trump. Following Trump's thing about immigrations, NBC canceled all business, and Trump bought out the 50% stake of NBC, so now he owns it completely. And the year 2000, swimsuits, blah blah blah. Jesus, just give me tell me how this helped. My God, I don't care what the crown's made out of. Columbia won last year, so maybe that's why they didn't win this year.
Oh yeah, you got to spread it around.
Wow.
Spread the wealth. Just tell me what these women have to do for the universe.
I feel like this would be a lot. Feel like this would be a much better event if it was an every 4-year thing, like the
Yeah.
World Cup.
Right.
The
You know, you
Olympics.
let a new class of women come up. You don't
Here
need to
we
do this
go.
every year.
From Quora, so
Yeah,
God
I
only
know.
knows if this is real or not. Miss Universe is a full-time job, just full attendance. Thus, full attendance is firstly responsible. Nowadays, 21st century Miss Universe title holders travel to different areas around the globe, performing charity work, speaking for awareness occasions, and even crown national title holders. The activities mentioned in the latter sentence are truly tedious. Blah blah blah. By protocol, you cannot respond to her duties, away to dethronement. Miss
Oh,
Universe, who is
dethronement.
Embarrassing.
Wow.
a Miss Universe who set her foot on a nation is bound to act accordingly. She should respect that atmosphere and the culture. No basic greetings.
I feel like
Does she have to speak multiple languages?
Apparently, yeah, or at least basics and some kind of basic terms and stuff.
I feel like she should be like the Pope at this point, where she can just say whatever the hell she wants in her native tongue, and people are wearing like earpieces that change it to whatever language they want it to be in.
Interesting.
I also feel like this seems like a set of rules that a bunch of guys sitting around a table with a 6-pack of beer each came up with. Like, oh no, I got one. If whenever she goes to a country or steps foot in it, she has to abide by all of their rules,
When in Rome, that's
or
the when
else
in Rome rule.
or else she has to take a shot.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's exactly it. That's it. Yes.
It was actually just a drinking contest that went awry, and Donald Trump just took it to the next level.
That sounds about right. I think that's his campaign also.
yes. That's actually what he's running for president on.
Weird. I thought it was keep everybody that's not white out.
It was just a weird game of truth or dare that went too far.
Oh, too far or not far enough? Who's to say? Really depends on who you are.
They've already taken over the universe.
Whoa.
It's true.
What do you mean they?
The people in this pageant thing.
Oh.
The Trump people.
Dodd Trump.
The Colombians.
Trump. DT, as I like to call him. DT and the hizzy. Nice. Yep. So there you go, Miss Universe, ladies and gentlemen.
So let's hear about your week, Scott.
Oh, boy. Listen,
Well, should we
it's
see about your week or to hear about your week?
It's chilly.
Yeah.
Cold. There's a reason I'm wearing this toque.
I hear that is it true that like 33% of your body heat escapes through your head?
That is actually a myth.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the actual number?
Livestrong told me that recently.
Oh, interesting. 75% is the actual
Yeah.
number.
I believe it's a myth.
The Livestrong website I think is biased.
It probably is. Well, you would think.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I would think that they, of all people, would want to sell hats, though.
Yes. Hats.
Yeah.
And
Those fancy biking hats too, where they're just like really tiny and you have the visor that flips up. It's
Yeah.
almost like a volleyball thing.
I used to have one of
I
those.
one of those.
and like is it the Navy one from way back when?
Navy wrestling. Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had one of those from
Yeah.
the Navy wrestling camp. I do not have that anymore. I don't know where it went.
Somewhere at the house probably.
Probably.
Of course, always is.
I have an all white biking hat with a Italian flag stripe down the middle of it. It's like a racing stripe.
Nice.
Side note, wonder what Karch Karai is doing right now.
Karch Karai. Wow. Hey, probably still playing Kings of the Beach.
God willing. God willing, gentlemen. All right, fuck it. There we go.
Do you think that Karch
There
Karai
he
and
is.
St. John Smith play Kings of the Beach together?
Yes.
Of course they.
Wait, let's
Whoa.
Look at this guy.
Shiny.
Is
Shiny.
it freeing? Do you have to shave it every morning?
No, I just shave it
You
like
need
once a week.
your you need your makeup group to put some more cover up on that thing.
Little cover on that. Yeah, I don't know how to do this. It's been 1 week. It's like a bare naked lady song, except bare naked scalp. It's weird because I have like this
Sean
phantom.
Leahy definitely has to watch this video now.
Oh,
Mhm.
God willing. Like it's like I have a phantom pain that I always want to like push my hair back just because I've had it for so long, and just like, oh, it's not there anymore, and then you get a little sad, and then you're just like, oh fuck.
So for just the podcast listeners, not the YouTubers, Scotty shaved his head.
Mm-hmm.
His head is completely bald. Bicked, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the clippers and then bicked the rest of it because it was patchy. It was like a goddamn well, I said something else. A goddamn quilt up the middle, like down the middle was like
You could've been the
patch here,
commander.
patch here, patch somewhere here. Then there's nothing. It's like the Nile,
So
My
it's like
map-
Patch Adams.
essentially, except for less funny.
So what drove you to the point of baldness, full baldness?
I'm gonna say stress.
I mean, not the losing hair part, the part that made you shave all your hair off.
I got tired of it. I just got sick of it.
Good. That's good.
The bald spot was expanding back here. It's like, oh, it's meeting the thinning hair up here.
Hmm.
Oh, this is not well.
It's like Risk.
Yeah, essentially.
It starts
I didn't-
taking over other sectors.
Yeah.
I didn't want the Hulk Hogan hair curtains in the end of it. Just having that just hair.
You
that
should have
trying to
kept the
desperately
skullet.
hold on to. I should have. Hey, I still might. There's still time. I'll just
Good.
shave up the middle and just have the other one just bear down.
I would buy you an Ally of Freddy jersey if you kept the skullet,
best.
and then you could wear that out for Halloween.
Of course.
No one in Calgary would know who you were.
Nope. It's like think of it as Al. Hey, Al.
I think
You'd
you,
start signing autographs.
I think you should also grow out the ear hooks also. So you already got the beard. I'm assuming the beard stops somewhere around like your ear. I say grow it around the ear. Grow it around the ear. Yeah, around the ear all the way around.
Mm.
Because the beard needs to hang on to something.
That's true, actually. That is true.
Although I've gotten, hey, you look like the guy from Disturbed, to hey, why are you joining ISIS? I'm going to call the Department of Homeland Security on you. I'm like, well, this is interesting.
Wow.
So the debate is on between the beard stays or the beard goes. For those
you'll
who
be-
care.
I don't know if the beard can go, though. I don't think that you've ever been like fully shaven.
I have, and back in the day.
Like high school.
High
Back-
school?
No,
yeah,
no,
Back when Chip Anderson used to make
But you
us
had
shave.
hair at that point, too,
First
right?
off, Chip Armstrong. Second
Chip
off,
Armstrong. Yeah. Chip
when I-
Anderson.
Chip Anderson. I'm Chip Anderson. Hey, go do some jog out there and pick up some garbage. No, when I was married for a time, I was.
What a wonderful moon.
It's a Christmas. Let's play a feud, Miss Columbia.
Hey, that's another feud. And we've now referenced 3 feud hosts.
Yeah, Richard Dawson, Ray Combs, Louis Anderson, Jay Peterman, Al Borland. He was a feud host.
That's true.
Jeez, wow.
That's 4.
Well, Jay Peterman. That's
That's all of them, right?
Yeah.
Who did we miss?
If we had the top 5, if we had the top 5
Feud hosts?
family feud
That'd be
hosts
so
on the
meta.
board right now, then
So
we would
meta.
have definitely named all 5 of them. And we're going home. We're going to the fast money round or whatever it is called.
The big money. Here we go. Wink Martindale. Oh no, that was Richard Dawson was there. Then Ray Combs took over. And then it was Louis Anderson when it revitalized.
And then Al Borland.
Yeah, yep, Al Borland, and then Jay Peterman, and then now Steve Harvey.
We forgot
See,
Jay Peterman.
Scotty said him.
I mentioned him.
Now,
No, he said him
No,
before.
I said him before him.
Scotty named all the Family Feud hosts ever.
well, how about that?
There we go. And then Ray Combs
I
died.
bet you there would be people that are on Family Feud that couldn't name all the hosts. There might be some people on Family Feud who couldn't name the current host.
It's true. But
Wow,
I bet people in
that's-
Colombia though could name him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I bet
for
you
sure.
they stay up. It's like the World Cup to them.
Is he the number one hated man in Colombia right now?
Could be.
Like, how seriously do they take this?
I don't. I bet you stores shut down. People didn't go to work so they could watch the Miss Universe pageant.
Can you look up what Miss Colombia's statement was this morning? You want me to do that? I can do that.
I hope it's in another language.
Um,
Read it in Spanish or Portuguese.
we are taking the Ferris wheel outside the mall. Okay.
Oh God, that's probably a Google Translate.
Yeah. By the way, apparently Ray Combs, his last show that he hosted, a guy got no answers right in the Fast Money round. And he said, I've done this show for 6 years, and this is the first time I had a person that actually got no points, and I think it's a damn fine way to go out. Thought I was a loser until you walked up here. You made me feel like a man. Then he walked off set, went to the dressing room to get changed, and left the facility without saying goodbye to anyone. And then he
Wow.
apparently got depression, and then he went to a psychiatric ward where he hung himself at the psychiatric ward. All right, Miss Columbia.
Wow,
Wow.
that's
That
a
escalated quickly.
quite an
Yeah.
adverse reaction. So this is a statement via Instagram,
Ooh,
Which, of
very-
course, all
I
statements.
love those recently.
widely respected news outlet.
There's a lot recently. Would you like me to hold something?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm
Just-
surviving over here.
Just making sure.
He's got this.
After the storm comes the calm, she said via Instagram. I feel like that would be in a ridiculous, trashy novel. My destiny was this. I was able to bring happiness to my country after becoming Miss Universe for only a couple minutes. Today, because of that, Colombia and the Latin community are being talked about in every corner of the world. I also want to congratulate the Philippines for their new Miss Universe. The happiness that you must be feeling must be incredible.
They don't feel anything.
That was such a backhanded compliment. Or really, I don't know. But that's just such a like. Why did you feel the need to do that? Why is that news?
I like how that showed up on Instagram though. Is
I
Instagram's trying? I think Instagram is trying to break in on Twitter, like news breaking.
I don't know if Instagram can, because you can only do so much with filters. And then that becomes blasé.
That's true.
Life continues, and in the future, we will find out why things happen the way that they happen.
It sounds like she's putting out a hit.
Thank you for all your love, support, and kindness.
That's
Is that a
sweet.
heart at the end of it?
Yep, and a heart at the end.
Oh well, that makes everything better.
Like what?
Oh,
What?
God. Is she making a heart with her hand?
She's
right there?
and making a heart with her hand.
Yeah, she
Aw.
should lose just for that. That may
Oh,
be the
jeez.
dumbest fucking thing that you could do.
No,
I
you
hate
can
that.
apply to be one of these contestants. I think that's the dumbest fucking thing you can do.
Eh,
Meh.
is that like the professional like ranks of like pageantry? Like after being a child pageant, do you like aspire to be Miss Universe?
Well, obviously, I
guess.
think you go through your state and then your.
Or do you
Punch.
decide at some point in your life that you would like to get a real job?
No, because they don't know what it is like to have a weird job. Have you seen Honey Boo Boo?
And who pays for this? Like, do they pay their own entry fee? Do they get sponsored?
They have to be sponsored.
They have to be sponsored, I think.
Who sponsors people like in pageants
Makeup
like this?
makeup corporations
The Colombian government.
and the
Well,
government.
No, but
possibly.
all right. At some point, so what's the? So I guess the
Do you have to
analogy
go through
that I'll
sectionals in order
use,
to get
right?
like out of your.
So in like English Premier League soccer, for instance, at some level, the team has to buy their way in to get into one of the lower level leagues. Like they
Sure.
have to pay for themselves to be in and then work their way up. At some point, once they reach a certain threshold, people are paying them to play soccer. I mean,
Oh,
I
that's
could
true.
get this.
That is true.
That's
Yeah.
I mean, and then as they continue up the ranks, people pay them more and more. So what's the? It's like the county level. Is that where the threshold is, where people start paying you instead of you having to pay your own way in? I'm thinking on the county that we on the county we need to they need to pay them their own way in.
I,
I'm thinking like once you get up to maybe like the state level.
I mean, you might be able to pick like prodigies though. like as their children that are going to be like really good
Fire
in
starters?
pageants. Yeah,
Twisted Fire
obviously.
Starters?
And if you don't win your state title,
No, then you're out.
you don't get to continue, right? You don't
No,
just get
whoever-
shooed into
Whoever
the
wins
national
the
title.
state title gets to go on to nationals. I'm sure.
Right.
I mean, you can't send the second place person to nationals.
That's true.
That's silly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because otherwise, what was the whole thing before?
she might be hotter in her bikini, but obviously her talent was shit.
It would all be a
But
sham if they sent the second
Here's
place
the
person.
thing, though. Can't you send like 2 teams like bobsled teams do?
Oh,
Like, do we just go ahead and do that gimmick, and then we can just go ahead and make it that way? Because if you do it that way, here we go then. Now we're into a whole different plane of thought.
all right. What do you
So
got
I think-
going on?
I need him to send me the link again because it rebooted me. Thank you, buddy. It rebooted me when I got
Church
kicked
stuff.
out and had to restart my interwebs.
All right.
While we go get our guest on. But yeah, I think if you have a secondary person, you can. Why couldn't you go ahead and, just make it happen, right? Just go ahead and just say, hey, let's put a second entry in here, and screw y'all. We'll go that way. We'll go ham this way.
That's
We have
fine.
another guest in the meantime,
We
but she's
do.
not coming on camera.
Oh,
You have to turn the mic on.
Yeah, turn the mic on. There you go.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you? Who's
You're
this?
not
Where you
going to
call?
show
Brett.
off your mug.
It's Britt. But I have
Where you
to
call?
give my mug.
First time, long time.
Okay, I'm here. They're making
Hi.
me. I have
Oh.
my sweater mug over here with wine in it.
Of
Sweater
course.
mug.
Class.
It's a mug with a sweater, right?
It is a mug
That's
with
true.
a sweater. That's true.
Got to keep it real.
That's how you keep things warm.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's right.
True. So what's happening? How are you, Britt? How's the holidays treating you?
The whole family is here.
It's kind of weird.
Wow.
Mark's not married anymore, though. He can point that out for you. Someone forgot a wedding ring today for the whole holiday. So
I left it in Bethesda.
if anyone wants to marry me again, it's cool.
There you go. See.
It's
You're
all
already
polygamous.
married, though.
I'm already married, unfortunately. I know.
Polygamy's not dead, kids. Remember that, especially in Utah. Shout out Dave.
It
Lyko.
wasn't me.
Hey, Glenn Birdie.
Yes. Well, obviously, Glenn Burney.
It wasn't me.
That's
Right, right.
good job, Shaggy. Yeah. So.
So I've been forcing people at work to watch Howard the Duck.
Oh,
Is this part of your stand-up
Sorry,
routine?
that was a weird segue.
so Howard the Duck, guys. How about this movie?
It's going to be a good one,
Yeah.
especially with all this Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Don't use all your Howard the Duck material beforehand. Let me just tell you that right now.
It's true.
Don't go full ham right now. But hold that thought. We'll get to that in a second. We're joined now by Matthew Harding, who is editor extraordinaire at thesinbin.net and a guy who I run ideas past, and he tells me, hey, what the hell are you doing with this garbage? Matt, how are you doing, sir?
Oh, he's muted. You're muted.
You're muted. What'd you mute yourself for? There it is.
All
See?
right.
Hi, Matt. Now we can't hear him. What's going on with technology today? Technology is taking a break.
That's fine. No one can see him either because
I
we
see
don't
him.
we don't show those little things
Well,
at the bottom.
his levels are jumping. Or is that Scotty's
That's-
levels?
that's your
Scotty's.
levels.
Scotty's
No,
levels.
we're on the right, and Scotty's.
We
over
see
there.
him, Matt. Hi. We can't get your audio for some bloody reason. Well, this is taking a turn for the worst. So once we figure that, maybe he's opining about Howard the Duck, and we don't even know about it.
He might be talking about Howard the Duck right now.
Or the sequel.
Was there a sequel to Howard?
Sequel?
Spaceballs.
Oh, yes.
The search
Oh.
for more money. That's not even a joke.
There was
Wow.
also, principal shooting supposed to be 2016.
For Howard the Duck 2?
No, for Spaceballs 2.
Oh.
Mhm.
Mallrats is coming out too, July.
Yeah, I got Mark a coffee cup that says I always drink coffee when I'm watching Radar.
Perfect.
That's gonna be my new work coffee mug.
Nice.
How about this?
Hey,
There we go.
Matty boy, there
we
he
go.
is.
It was on my end.
Oh, awesome.
I forget that sometimes we use Google Hangout to record a pregame show for the Missouri Mavericks, and the only way to do it, since I'm on a relatively old laptop, is for me to just shut up and let Joe Rosicki and Ryan Gibson, the guys who do the pregame show, just talk. So I have to mute myself all the way. So.
Wow.
That's what I should start doing. Just mute myself.
Are you in a bank vault?
No, I'm actually at work. I work at an airport where I'm a weather observer. I hate the job, but I'm in a room with a fan going and the doors closed, and make some lockers.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, they're lockers.
So those are lockers.
I'm gonna make the joke that I'm sure you've heard 20,000 times, but this is a new one for me. I feel like I'd be really good at being a weather observer. How about you?
I feel like I am too.
I mean, I'd be like, "Yep, it's raining out there. You should probably let them know it's raining. It's gonna be a little hard to land." Is that pretty much what the job entails, or? I mean, I'm not trying to be a jackass, but
No, you're good. That's pretty much it.
Matt just gets pissed off, puts his hand out. Yeah, it's wet. What do you want to do about it? I had a bad day. This is garbage.
Pretty
yeah,
much.
Still sunny, guys. There's a cloud though, but it's still good.
That makes it partly sunny.
I'm going back.
It's partly sunny or mostly cloudy.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's the line between partly sunny and mostly cloudy?
There is actually a difference, apparently.
Apparently.
Damn if I could tell you. But there is a difference. So.
Oh, goodness gracious. So, weather talk. You know what? This is not the first time we've talked weather on this show either, because we've had a weather girl for God knows how many years do our weather reports in studio where it was room temperature.
But then she moved away from us.
It's room temperature in every room.
Huh? What? Okay.
That's true.
Well, maybe not Johnny's house, because Johnny's house, it gets really below room temperature.
No. If you're ever really cold, always stand in the corner. It's always 90 degrees.
It's a geometry drill.
Maybe use that with your Merit the Duck. Rebound that off that.
Yeah. See, that was a great joke, especially wearing a tux.
I'm just waiting for the tomato to come flying in.
I do have to commend Johnny for busting out the tux.
Thank you.
That's rich.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the first time we've had other guests on in a while, so I wanted to spruce up the place.
It's been a month and a half since I was there.
That's true. Well, no, not in studio. I meant actual guests.
Oh, actual guests. Okay, yeah.
I'm humbled that
Lionel's part of the show at this point. So
I'm humbled that you thought I was worthy of you wearing a tux, because
Johnny
if I had
has a black tie affair after this. That's the problem. He's going out of town.
Yes, it's called sleeping.
He has a date with Miss Columbia.
That's how far she's fallen.
Oh, that's so sad.
She was Miss Universe for 3 minutes.
For 3, the whole 3.
Well, hey, if Johnny plays his card, right, she can for another 3 minutes.
Hey.
Hey, you're giving me an extra minute and a half at least.
Well, I was accumulating for the apologies you would be saying.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Actually, yeah, thank you.
The 2.5 minutes of apologies.
So this is what you got yourself into, Matt.
I'm all about it.
Excellent. Well, good. Well, tell the people at home who are not aware of it that if I haven't shilled enough, the history and just the fantasticness that is the sinbin.net, because you and Joe have spearheaded this cavalcade of characters that have been making this a powerhouse at minor league hockey, starting I guess before we got here, but really taking flight this year.
Well, yeah. It started, oddly enough, Joe was the voice of the Missouri Maverick fan base, and he still is to a certain extent. But I was with 3 other guys, and we were doing Minor League Hockey Report, and that won a league-wide media award in 2014.
Awesome.
And so we were the last Central Hockey League Media Service Award winners.
That's awesome.
That's on the resume. So when we got into when the CHL merged into the ECHL, we decided it was impossible to cover 28 teams, and so Joe came up with the idea of, hey, why don't we all just pool our resources and come together and work under one umbrella rather than compete for news and things like that. So that's how the Sin Bin was born, and then it took off with, instead of let's cover every team in the ECHL, well, why don't we cover teams in the American League and teams in the Southern Pro League, and And so, and why don't we have a guy who does features, Scotty, and things like that. So yeah, he does a really good job at those. So that's how it came to be, and that's the nuts and bolts version of it. It's 9 months in, and we have, I think, 141,000 authentic views since we launched in March. So, that's huge for us. We're really excited for next year.
Yeah, I think we're right around there after being on for 14 years.
Yeah,
15 years.
Unique views.
We're like right around
141,000.
Yeah, so
yeah,
you guys got there a lot quicker than we did.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is
we're still working on ours.
My parents' computers keep breaking, so that's probably why we're getting that unique kind of thing. But yeah, no. But I have to say the crew that's been assembled has been just top notch, and just so many great stories coming out, and just churning and churning and churning. It's been a great thing as I get scared by my phone buzzing.
So how did the name come about?
He was actually went by that name when he was just doing it solo on up in Missouri. When minor league sport in the Sin Bin moved there, took the name because the Sin Bin is much cooler. So yeah, that's how it passed.
Nice.
Always good to have that. Just to keep
and I mean, it gives like an air of you're doing something wrong, but not
only getting 2 minutes for it.
Yeah, I mean, you're not doing anything wrong. You're doing everything right.
The logo is fantastic as well.
It's like getting positive fantasy points for penalty minutes. It's a good name.
That should be their tagline.
Yeah. I like it.
Let's make that happen.
We should.
Put that on all the shirts, all the fantastic shirts, which you can find somewhere. There, it's on the store. You can go to thesinbin.net, check out the store, find some things. Although the problem with this, it sends you right to checkout. I'm just like, well, I didn't buy anything. They're like, no, pay us, just pay us now.
Yeah, you're buying something. We want your money, so just pick what you want and pay us now.
Sounds about right.
That's
how I'm like. It's just, you know what? Pay me now. That's all I care about.
Right effing now.
I do that right after the 3 minutes with Miss Columbia.
Boom.
Yeah. Pay me now.
Yeah.
He's like.
Are you sponsored for that, or is she sponsored for that, or both of you? What if you're both sponsored? That's awkward.
Well, I mean, I do have a tattoo on my back that says DraftKings.com. So. Just saying.
It's tramp stamp. Whatever. These things happen. You're only human.
I sold out.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, why wouldn't you? If you got DraftKings on your thing, daily fantasy, boom.
Yeah, daily fantasy. That'll bring you lots of money.
Yeah, no,
Bill Burr told us about it.
Exactly. You could turn $1 into 25,000 or lose your home. These things are possible with DraftKings.com. Yeah, you're not gambling. In any case, speaking of gambles, boy oh boy, the ECHL is gambling with their attendance. And Barry Jansen put something up on the sinbin.net to take a look at the average attendance of the ECHL over the past 10 years. Now they're hovering below, literally one person below 4,000 on average right now. First off, get that.
Come on, Steve. Get out to the games. Make it a solid 4.
Damn it, Bill. Get out there and just buy a ticket. I don't care if you show up or not. I'm looking at it. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams on the plus side of their average right now. Everyone else doing the math, that's 22 that are below average. Is this cause for concern, Matt, or is it just one of those things where it's like, hey, guess what? We're midway through the season and people in these areas are finally realizing that hockey is going on?
I think if you're in a market like Kalamazoo, that is a huge deal. For somebody like Wichita, who's lost about an average of 1,000 people at the turnstiles, if you clean up when your dates are, like they had a game on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, which is asinine. Because who's going to go to a game on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving?
Unless that's also dollar beer night. There's no chance.
Yeah, that night's reserved for hitting on your old high school girlfriend.
True, yeah.
Right. It was dollar beer night in Wichita, but they were like yay big cups. Like literally When you used to go to the doctor's, to the dentist office, and they'd give you a cup to wash.
Don't
wash
say
your
that
mouth
I'm
out?
peeing into anything.
Right.
Well, if it's
It
Bud
would
Light.
be. It's about a Dixie cup size. So
Well, here's the real question: did they have riddles on the bottom of it? Because then maybe that's worth the $1. You never know.
from what I understand, no. But it comes down to just, I think, having more weekend dates and things like that, and building availability in some of those markets. Like I said, if it's a Kalamazoo market where they've not had real good attendance recently, yeah, that's a huge source of concern.
Yeah, and Kalamazoo's an interesting because they're holding the Hockey Heritage Weekend up here in a couple months, and they're under 2,000 people on average, and that's a little scary. And I know when I was looking at things on the start, I was looking at where's that place? Adirondack. That was a place that was a thing, and I was looking at their attendance. I'm like, wow, this is pretty low for a team. Then I realized they had like 7 home games. I'm like, well, that could do it. Everyone else has got 15. Adirondack's just not playing in Glens Falls. But I'm skimming here. Like, how has the effect of these the 2 ECHL teams that came down from the AHL gone? I mean, Manchester and Adirondack and Norfolk. I mean, these are teams that actually had a decent fan base. I mean, is that enough to help bump up, like especially later on in the season, to bump up this average and maybe make this whole shakiness go away towards the end of the season?
I think it might, especially if, I did an interview with Barry Schickling for the Sin Bin, who hosts ECHL Week, and he had a conversation with League Commissioner Brian McKenna, and McKenna told him that it was more or less they have to reintroduce a fan base to ECHL hockey. So if they get those fan bases on there and the teams do well, then I think the fans will come back. I mean, they're used to American Hockey League action, not one step lower, so they have to kind of get used to it again. But I think those 3 markets you don't necessarily have to worry about. It's the Reddings, the Floridas, the Alaskas, South Carolina even, and Evansville that I think you really have to worry about. Those markets that have been in the ECHL now for several years and have had some degree of success, but the fans just aren't showing up.
That's interesting because South Carolina won the ECHL last year, right? Or the Eastern Conference, at least.
Yeah, they won the Eastern Conference, lost in 7 games to the Allen Americans.
Wow.
Yeah, and Evansville is a team that's in a little bit of political disarray off the ice, so that hasn't helped.
Donald Trump's issue.
What's that?
I feel like Donald Trump's part of every sentence that you can put political disarray into.
Perfect. Make it happen.
So my sources are telling me, and I've heard this from my sources, that there may be some consideration of something similar to the way that the juniors are in Canada, trying to start that up in the United States, and that my sources could be way off, and if so, I blame the sources.
How do you mean?
Do you think that the U.S. talent that's currently in collegiate hockey would benefit more from a junior-style system? And leading into, obviously, the professional ranks, like, the lower professional ranks that you guys cover, but it sort of all weaves together at some point. Do you think that the talent that winds up in the ECHL and the talent that winds up in the in the Southern Professional Hockey League, do you think that that talent leading into those lower pro organizations would benefit more from a junior system, or benefit more from the collegiate system that exists now?
That's a tough question. It's the junior system down here is not well formed as it is in Canada, obviously. That needs a lot of work, and until that gets on par with what is going on in Canada, then the really only viable way for that to happen is through the collegiate system, I think. So I would, I think right now the way to go is through the collegiate ranks and not necessarily through juniors. You're not, like I said, you're not going to see. I think the juniors are there, at least here in America, for colleges to recruit from, and then coaches in the ECHL and SPHL go and recruit those players from colleges when they get to be a little older. So I think that's the system for now. But until that junior system gets on the level with Canada's hockey league, the CHL, it's really not. In my view, it's not a comparison.
Yeah, good luck to get USA Hockey to agree to something like the CHL, because USA Hockey is very rigid in their policies.
Would the CHL talent in Canada, where would that rank on the U.S. professional system? Is that it would let's say the London Knights? Would the London Knights go toe to toe with the ECHL champ from last year?
Well, that's the question. Can Kentucky beat the Philadelphia 76ers?
Yeah,
right.
I mean, the answer is yes.
Well, okay. Well, us four and another guy could beat the Sixers, sure.
Yeah, and I'm 5'2".
Yeah, well, there we go.
And I wrestled most of my life.
I'll be Manute Bol in the block.
Perfect. We got this all. I'll be big country Brian Reeves. We'll make this all happen, guys. Listen. Point is this: I think this the CHL, the talent wise there is. See, that's a rough one. I would say that they could be in a comparison to, because it's hard because you're just blending age groups there as well.
But
I don't know.
So at the end of the day, the collegiate hockey system at some point is going to start a decline, right? Because schools don't want to pay for this any longer. Will be the only reason that this declines. I feel.
Well, yeah, and they have to pay for the programs through Title IX. So if you take a male hockey program, if you take a male sport away, you have to take a female sport away. So
right, but there are some schools that have to lose male sports in order to meet Title IX. Also,
right.
which
yeah,
like hockey, wrestling, like some of those sports are the sports that go first.
And we've seen a lot of varsity programs turn into club programs because of that.
Yeah. So I feel like the system of juniors in the United States might be 20 years off at this point, but it might end up being a necessity because of the college ranks not being where they are today.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you're absolutely right about club teams and about how the NCAA is with hockey right now, and there are really only 10 or 12 solid college teams right now.
You're seeing the same teams in the Final Four. I mean, not that you're not seeing the same teams in the Final Four in basketball, and the same football teams in the finals and in the playoffs in college football, but in hockey it seems like the actual talent pool of decent programs that recruit and wind up year to year with great talent is smaller than another U.S. collegiate sports. But so does the ECHL, as far as where they get their talent from, is it mainly NHL teams sending talent down? Or is it mostly EHL teams having to go out and scout these collegiate players that maybe didn't get drafted or are coming from other sources?
Well, it's a mix of both. It's a mix of all three, really, because you have coaches who recruit from Europe, and you have coaches who are really wired in with an affiliation like Missouri, and then you have coaches who go out and do it on their own. There are only 3 unaffiliated ECHL teams this year. It's Wichita, Colorado, and Alaska, and those 3 teams are suffering. In my view, they are suffering in the standings, in my view, because they do not have an affiliation. So it is almost, I think it's almost a necessity at the ECHL level that if you want to at least compete and bring in, if you want to compete for playoff berths and things like that, you have to have an affiliation. But I think it's more. I think it's probably, maybe 50, 30, 20, like affiliation, going out and recruiting on your own, Europe, and things things like that. I mean, if you were to give me a pie chart, I would probably split it up that way.
Yeah, that's about. I mean, because you got a lot of guys who are like fourth year finishing up their college career. They get signed on, especially at the end of the season, to ATOs or PTOs. And then basically affiliate. I've seen the Brampton Beast have a big affiliate. Since they get affiliation, they get a lot of guys from the Montreal system and things like that. But that leads me to this question: is that you cover the Wichita Thunder and like you said, an independent team. What have you seen in terms of like how much harder has it been for the Thunder, I guess, to be competitive? Like, give us a little insight to how the struggles of a non-affiliated team to what you've seen with especially a powerhouse team now like the Missouri Mavericks and getting their affiliation with the Islanders at the end of last season and into this season.
It's night and day. It's night and day, guys. The two leading scorers for the Wichita Thunder, Andy Huff and Peter Sakaris, are in the 140s in league scoring. Missouri has the top 10, has 2 or 3 guys in the top 10. So that is a wide dichotomy, but I think that is the greatest stat that I can probably bring to this party tonight. When you talk about an affiliation, it's night and day between just how fit. If you look at them, if you guys watch the Missouri Mavericks night in and night out, they are strong on their skates. They're strong mentally and physically from start to finish. Wichita has burst in their game where they're good for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes, then they wear down. Second period will come, they'll be good for 5 or 10 minutes, they'll wear down again. Missouri just keeps going, and that goes to the fitness program that the New York Islanders have, and they're putting everybody through. And really, Joe Rosicki can speak more to this than I can, but from what I understand, it's an organizational thing. They have advanced scouts who sit in the arenas and scout the opponents, and they have fitness people teaching these guys how to eat right and replenish their bodies so they don't get tired. I mean, these guys are almost like cyborgs. You're playing four games in 5 nights, and Missouri has won, and they just rattled off a 14-game winning streak. They played 4 games in 5 nights and won all 4 of them. So whereas you could expect a team not as in shape to maybe lose 1 or possibly 2 of those games in that run, and it still be a good week. I mean, that to me that's just incredible, and that is a couple of the huge advantages that I see in an affiliation versus somebody who's not. Wichita and Colorado look really slow, like they're playing in molasses. It's the old CHL days where everybody was just a step slower no matter what. But when you compare them to Missouri, Missouri can just turn circles around these guys.
You got all those guys getting fitness stuff, and then the Thunder employ Matt to see what the weather is for dry land trading. So that's that's the kind of thing we're going with here.
That's actually the interesting part about minor league hockey to me is how much they play. They play like every other day. It's insane to me.
Yeah, and it's almost a crime to make these guys do that. I mean, you have travel. Wichita, and I speak. Wichita is the beat that I cover, so I can speak more to this and speak clearly on it anyway. Wichita had a 7-game in 9-day stretch where they weren't all at home. They had to travel to Allen
via
on
bus.
on a game day in a bus,
right.
6 hours. 6 hours from Wichita to Allen, Texas, play the game, and then come back to Wichita 6 hours later for a game against Tulsa the next night. That's insane. And that also goes to poor scheduling as well. So,
but does it come down to more of arena availability or just the fact that that's how the schedule is set up?
I think that's more how the schedule is set up, because would it hurt to have a game on a Thursday night? Probably not, but I mean, gosh, I mean those arenas sit empty a lot of other nights. You mean you can't give these guys a night off? And it also goes to what an ownership group is willing to pay. Are you willing to pay a per diem for these guys to go down a day early and be rested and in a hotel and have a pregame skate and have their routine? Or are you willing to cut that corner on these guys and then make them go down 6 hours, not pay per diem, play a game, get them out of their routine, and then send them back home?
But
that's a double-edged sword.
There's no real incentive for the owners to allow that to happen, because, well, like Mark said earlier, the English soccer, I guess, is the closest that we have to minor league systems, et cetera, except for like baseball, but I don't really know baseball's minor league systems that well. But in Europe, you have promotion and relegation that you're playing toward. You're playing toward moving to the next level. You're playing toward staying in the league that you're currently in. And owners of those teams will put money into those teams in order to stay where they are and or move up. And in the United States, there's just really no reason to do that.
Well, I think on a macro level, the only truth to that is maybe that if and that's where affiliation comes in, where maybe an affiliation, a parent team can go ahead and chip in a little here to get those guys out there early, because they want some of their prospects to develop better and have a better situation going on for them. And I think that could be the only thing another thing that affiliation brings is that, we want to see these guys. We don't want to see these guys tired. We don't want to see how, we're already given this much to them. So maybe if we chip in and help alleviate the cost a little bit, that could help us in the long run as well. I mean, at least this is just me thinking out loud. I don't know if that's the case for most of these affiliations or what have you, because God knows the Devils haven't had an affiliation since Christ was a cowboy, from what I remember. I mean, yeah, it's way long time ago.
That was right after he was a carpenter.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think he actually made his own gun.
He put him up on his own cross. He had to make his own gun. What a guy, that guy. That Jesus.
Jesus, God. If only we had him.
Nice. Well done.
Thank you. If only we had Jesus at every party. Because, I mean, water is always around.
That's true.
Wine is not.
That's true.
One little trick. Boom.
That's all you have to do. He'd be
I
the
had one more question. Go ahead.
Every party.
Yes. One.
Yes.
It's
my
a
God.
necessity.
He just shows up. He's not even that guy that shows up with the 10-pack of tacos from Taco Bell, and everybody goes crazy.
It's the
he walks in and they're like, Jesus, we got some water. And he's
that's
like,
wine.
Wine.
I mean, that guy now is the Nugget Tray from Chick-fil-A guy. Is the guy that shows up.
Oh, Nugget Tray from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
But that's so much more expensive.
Well, not if you're Jesus.
That's true. Well, yeah, but Jesus just makes water into wine. Why does he have to show up with a Chick-fil-A tray?
It's true. It's probably somebody else's job.
Yeah, somebody else is bringing the Chick-fil-A tray. Somebody who's not turning water into wine.
Would Jesus walk into a party with an entourage? I have to feel like he would, because the entourage, the 13 guys,
13, 12. The 13th is the one who killed him.
Yeah.
What the 13th?
He walks in there 12 deep. One of the guys could have the nugget platter.
And one solo cups. The other one's carrying a bag of ice.
And then you got E trying to broker deals for his next movie. No, not that entourage.
If the guy walks in with a bag of ice, Jesus turns it into cold wine.
Ooh, that's good.
Ooh, that's
my God.
Let's
got
make
a bag of cold
real.
wine.
He's got a bag of cold wine.
Ooh, wine cubes.
Perfect.
Whoa.
All right, now
I just figured out how we're funding the show for
Buffalo's paid for, boys. We got wine cubes.
Yes.
Why didn't we think of this earlier?
All the best thoughts come from when we've been drinking.
That's true. I did have one more serious question. If you want to go serious questions,
go what you got to do.
Do you think that talent? I mean, you were talking about the talent discrepancy in the ECHL a few minutes ago, a little bit earlier. do you think that talent is easier to evaluate or harder to evaluate at the minor league levels? Because you got plenty of people who succeeded at the AHL level and then wound up being really good NHL players. And then you've got, I was just trying to look up stats earlier. You've got a guy like Alexander Giroux, who from 2009 to 2011 was one of the highest scoring AHL players in the league and wound up with a zippy NHL career. So, like, is it you think it's harder or easier to evaluate talent when the talent discrepancy is that large?
Well, I mean, if you're looking at it, all things equal, and everybody's affiliated, the talent pool is much harder, I think, to look at. If you're looking at it where you have 4 or 5 teams who are not affiliated, the talent pool is a little easier to weed out. If you were to not to pick on the Thunder, but if you were to go and watch a Thunder game, you would know that this team largely could tear up the SPHL. They could not in the ECHL. And and then you look at a team like Missouri, you can and try and slot that roster. It's impossible to do. That said, I mean, I think with the talent discrepancy the way it is, I think fairly quickly who can make it in this league and who can't. But I think with everybody being equal and affiliated, it does become harder.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's one of those things where it's just like you're playing a team that's full of guys who a lot of call-ups. So you got to have a lot of guys who tried out. Maybe you get a goalie who's a singer-songwriter. You take them up to Alaska with you. These things happen and have happened. And Colorado was the main team because they just didn't have development guys and guys injured and all this other crazy crap. So therefore, it's hard to put a team on display like that and just be like, "Hey, this guy can do good here," and then you move to the AHL. I was like, "Well, this guy is just complete garbage. How did this happen?"
Yeah, but then you got a guy like Jonathan Bernier who looked like crap in the NHL and looks like the second coming of Patrick Waugh when he drops down to the AHL.
It's true. Three shutouts in 4 games, and then lets up 5 in his last game before moving up. But I mean, and that's the weird goalies, especially. Look at Jacob Markstrom in Vancouver. Tore up Utica last year. Vancouver. He's a turd sandwich. So I mean, these are things. I think goalie is also
honest. Who hasn't torn up? Utica?
I know. I mean, I need to go back there this year.
That actually
college days.
That might be my 4th CD.
There you go.
Tearing up Utica. It will be the name of my 4th CD, I think.
Nice.
We'll write that in Buffalo and make that happen. So,
how do you spell Utica? Do you know how to spell Utica?
No. There's a U and a C and an A. I know that, but the rest
you're missing the T, brother.
Kind of fuzzy.
Yeah, it's really weird. Matthew Harding from the Simbin.net. The Flava Flav of the Simbin.net is the hype man for us all. He's got a big clock around his neck.
Does he call you White Escalade?
He does every now and again, but that's because I pay him to.
Who is the professor?
Oh, that's a good question. Who is the professor? If we were to put
he needs to be on our team.
That is true.
Whoever's the professor has to be on our team because he just rains 3-pointers.
Yeah, there we go. And we got maybe 1 or 2 bench guys, and then there we go. We got our 7 to go out and defeat the 76ers. Line in Vegas already has us favored by 13 points. So I like our odds. I like our chances.
Now, who do you like, the Globetrotters or the Golden State Warriors?
I mean, there's my question. Lost
I know.
What about Johnny Mathis versus Diet Coke? How do you go on that one? Because you know what? In that one, I can't tell, but pound for pound, I think that Muhammad Ali is better than anti-lock brakes. Matt, your thoughts?
Well,
I like sliced bread personally.
There's a Parkinson's joke in there, and I'm going to refrain from saying it.
Michael J. Fox. Anyway,
there we go.
No one watches this show anyway. It doesn't matter. Just make
okay. Well, the joke was it depends on who's more shaky that day.
Oh, jeez.
That's true.
You know what?
That is true. That's true.
That's true. You're right.
Crossed the line. I was offsides.
No.
That's fine.
No, we've made way
That's
worse.
PG
jokes.
here.
Yeah, exactly. You're tame. What?
I'm not even wearing
at the
pants.
beginning of the show, I asked what I should call my Black Russian, and I said Ray Emery. So
It's true. Actually, you did.
that was the closest thing we could come up with, because normally when I make a White Russian, I'll call it a Caucasian or an Ivan Drago.
Yeah. Well, if it's strong, it's an Ivan
A
Drago.
strong White Russian is an Ivan Drago.
Obviously.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to call a Black Russian.
And that's not the worst thing we've said about Ray Emery, because remember when we went to Shasta McNasty's in Ottawa and they had the Ray Emery dummy hanging from the roof, and I'm just like, that's a bit racist.
That was bad. That was bad.
That wasn't us. That was just commentary. I mean, we can't be held responsible for that.
Yeah, but I did
No,
15
you can't.
minutes on it, and I think I felt bad after that. Whatever. Matt Bradley was there. It's fine.
I mean, yeah. So it's a Ray Emery
Yeah.
until we come up with
John
something,
Sotala still has his
better.
phone number.
Well, there you go. That's perfect. Where is Matt Bradley these days? Russia? That's great. Good for him. So it's been a year and a half, Matt, since the hostile takeover of the CHL by the ECHL. As the ECHL came storming in and just went all hog wild. How have you seen, like, everything in your, especially in Wichita, being as independent as they are for year number 2 of this ECHL experiment? How has it been, just in general, to integrate these Central League teams into the greater family of the ECHL?
Well, are you asking from the player perspective? Because the player perspective that is done seamlessly. I've heard some people say that it's a tad tougher to integrate with, forming relationships with those across the ECHL, and that's because the CHL was a really close-knit family. You had 7, 9 teams. They all worked together, each other, and they came and talked and all that all the time. How much that happens at this level? It depends on what you're asking exactly.
Well, I think more of like a business, like how has it been? Because obviously the CHL was one of those leagues where it was just, it almost seemed like it was, because there were teams dropping out left, right, and center. I guess player-wise is one thing, but business-wise, I think for the greater whole, like how much healthier is that?
I mean, I'm curious from a business perspective about travel, because a lot of these leagues were organized, geographically. So is that sort of what you're getting at, Scotty? I mean, how does that integrate into a league that might have spread its wings a little farther?
Yeah, like how much has that helped? I guess, especially in year 2 when they had Brampton not facing Quad City as their closest opponent. I mean, like when you look at everything now, how much healthier are these teams that came over? Business-wise, and I guess just in general, than they were if the Central Hockey League were still to be, if that were the case, if the Central Hockey League still was, it could survive on its own merits with these teams staying as they were in their own entity.
Ask part of that question again, because I dropped out.
Yeah, we were just commenting about how some of the assimilated teams, if they're better off now that there's more teams closer to home to play, as opposed to in the past. I mean, that's pretty much what you were getting at, Scotty, right? There's more teams closer to home, so their travel's a little easier. Like from a business, obviously the quote unquote rivalries aren't quite there yet, but just from a day-to-day operating standpoint, they have to be a little bit. It has to be a little bit easier from a monetary perspective.
Right. Yeah. In the last days of the CHL, Wichita would travel to Brampton and play in Southern Ontario, which is a huge haul for anybody, and they travel by bus. But I think what the ECHL did a good job of doing is keeping, the Wichita, Missouri, Wichita, Allen, Wichita, Tulsa rivalries. Those rivalries that founded the ECHL or the CHL and made it what it is prior to the ECHL coming in. I think they did a good job of preserving those. Obviously, we'd like to see, from the fan perspective, I'd like to see Fort Wayne in a little more, and other teams get some new blood in here from from Greenville and Elmira and Reading and places like that where we've not seen those teams come through here in the past. We'll see the Idaho Steelheads and Alaska Aces come through Wichita later this year. But I think the league has done a good job so far in making sure that the new teams are seeing now teams who they would not have seen if they were in the Central League.
The Central League probably couldn't have existed if this didn't happen, correct?
No.
Okay.
No. It was on its last legs. It depends on who you talk to, but there were some insurance issues from what I understand in the last days of the CHL, and so there's no way that that league was viable with 7 teams and the footprint that it had from Arizona to southern Ontario. There was no way it was viable.
To be fair, Southern Ontario is Central Canada, apparently. I don't believe it. I'll take their word for it. I saw a map, and I'm still not convinced.
It's basically Ohio, from what I understand.
Yeah, you know what? The hell with cartography. I don't give a shit about those guys, so I don't trust them with,
Are you talking about cartels?
The lake is
that
right
a cartel?
What? No, cartography is the study of maps.
Okay.
I don't believe
Cartology
that.
is the study of cartels, right?
America did steal Lake Ontario, so technically they're close enough. Because I feel like Lake Ontario is part of our Great Lakes, not their Great Lakes.
Does Canada have Great Lakes?
I think we have one. I think it's Huron. I don't know. That wasn't on my tests for citizenship, so I didn't really study it. There's water. I live in Alberta. We don't have water. The only water is coming from the tap, and it's amazing. And we just got it last week. So
and from the sky.
Yeah. Well,
in snow form in July.
If we have someone like Matt on the patrol, then we could tell us if there's weather happening.
That's true. Ice fog.
Yeah, we can have ice fog. It's great. And fun times are had by all. That's for damn sure. As we wrap up here with you, Matt, and let you.
We can let you go back to looking out windows.
Exactly. Just be like,
I'm
hey,
good.
it's dark,
I'm
guys. You're good. Matt's like, please don't let me go back out there.
All right. Well, fine. We'll talk to you the rest of the night.
Entertained.
Perfect. Then we shall.
So I do have a quick question before we keep going on. Was I supposed to wrestle you or the guy that didn't show up? Because I'm assuming it's the guy that didn't show up after he found out that I was a wrestler.
Here's the thing. Mike Campos is a guy who's talks big, but is actually really small, 4'11", and he is. I don't know that for sure. Could be 4'13".
He's the mini-me of the spin bin.
I'm 4'14".
Well, there you go. See, we put Mike in our pocket, and away we go. I think Mike just decided, oh, he's a wrestler, and then he thought you were Jerry Lawler. So I think that could have been it too.
Well, that makes sense, actually.
Yeah. So
All-American wrestler does scare a lot of people.
It does, and then they see, and you're just like,
I have the plaque on my wall.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
It's you and Jim Duggan, right?
Yes, obviously.
All-American wrestlers?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm standing there with a 2x4 and the American flag. Actually, right next to him.
The American flag's right behind you, buddy.
I weigh 125 pounds at the time.
Perfect. Look at you now. You're living the life.
And I was in college at that point. My God.
Oh, that's true. By the way, you know the funny thing is, Mark, you were talking earlier about how colleges and stuff and the discrepancy there.
Mm-hmm.
I just remembered right off the top of my head that UND, University of North Dakota, is paying their players starting next year. That's gonna make people.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah.
Why is the NCAA like? Is NCAA hockey buried so deep down in the financial ledgers that they don't care about all this, collegial athletes shouldn't get paid, no advertising, no signing autographs for charity.
Let's be honest. I got paid when I was in college.
Yeah?
Yeah. They gave me meal money every time we went to a wrestling tournament.
Well, that's a stipend. That's different than getting paid.
Yes, but how many wrestlers do you know that ate?
That's true.
They were like, "Here's $35 to eat," and I'm like, "Fuck off! I'm not eating."
So what are
Perfect.
Like really? Like they just paid me $35 for doing nothing. I had to weigh in tomorrow morning. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Well, here's the fun part about that. UND men and women's hockey on full scholarship will receive $3,400 this season. In addition to the NCAA approved measure last year, the additional money is set aside to cover costs outside of tuitions, tuition fees, books, and housing. So if an athlete is on a 90% scholarship, he or she received 9% of $3,400, and so on and so forth.
So my next question is, I'm guessing that the college athletes get all of their equipment for free, right?
Yes.
So isn't that a form of where's the line drawn here for the NCAA? Like what isn't considered getting paid? Because that
So
would
I guarantee you that football players get a lot of gear for free.
Right. So when you go home to practice on your own, do you get to keep that equipment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
So you're getting paid.
Yes, but
you're just getting paid in material goods
It's basically
instead of
like
money.
the early years of Face Off Hockey Show.
That's true.
Yep. By the way, I still have my CCM USA hockey swag.
As you should.
In a big way. It's really weird.
I think I gave mine away as a gift. It was a prize at some point. I still have the hat though, I think.
That's good.
So you're saying that UND players are going to get their equipment, which for hockey players, isn't cheap, especially if you're a goalie. In addition to that money, they're getting 9% or 10% of their scholarship money in cash.
Yeah, but depending upon what their scholarship is. If it's a full scholarship, it's a full $3,400, and then percentages down from there. So, because UND hockey makes them the most money of anything combined,
They
I
might
think.
not. Do they have a football team?
Yes.
Okay.
Not that good. Most of the guys go play in the CFL. So
that's why I just asked. Do they have a football team?
Yeah. No, not really. They're in the Big Sky Conference. You know who's in the Big Sky Conference? Me neither. So
I think Montana's up there.
It's pretty high. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
Idaho.
sure Denver might be up there too. I've heard it's at least a mile high.
A mile high. Yeah.
Heyo.
Not the sky.
Yeah. If you have sex in Denver, are you allowed to be part of the Mile High Club?
I'd say yes.
I think it depends. I think you have to be on the top of the Pepsi Center. Like if you're in the nosebleeds of the Pepsi Center and you're just railing a chick or guy, depending on what your preference is.
Yeah, that could happen. It's no big deal.
Well, yeah, the Avalanche are playing. Who's going to watch that? So you do it that way. I mean,
what about Coors Stadium? Is Coors Stadium high enough?
But here's the problem: you'll get caught easier there because there's like 17 people at a Rockies game.
But if you did it
let's
at
be
the
honest.
Classic, would it count? Or if you did it at the outdoor game, would it count?
Oh,
of course. I think so. I think not only that, I think you count that and count it for again. You get the N1 on that one as well.
Yeah.
So you get the foul?
You get the foul. Obviously, it's continuation. Yeah. And then you go from there. My thing is how wind. Like if you're not used to that atmosphere, you're just like.
Are you dribbling though?
I think he's talking about the N1 Mile High Club, which is a completely different thing.
Yeah, it's really weird. You have a guy doing play-by-play as you're banging it. It's like,
Yes. Either you have a hitman in the airport bathroom with you, which is already cramped to begin with, or you've brought in the girl that sits next to you in the aisle seat also, which more power to you if you could pull both girls that are in your row.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my God.
It's true. And you know
that
what?
has to have some sort of asterisk or like a gold star next to it.
You get your wings.
Story.
Well, there you go.
You're like an angel at that point.
Daddy, someone's ringing their call button. That means someone's getting laid in the bathroom, sweetheart. Miracle at 34,000 feet. Oh my goodness, what a time!
I loved that movie.
It's my favorite Christmas movie.
That's right up there with A League of Their Bone.
Oh, Tom Spanks, you're the best. And the funny part is Madonna was actually in that movie. Listen, folks, we're here. We're having fun. It's a Christmas episode. Matt Harding from the Sinbin.net joins us as well as he is partaking in this, and he's obviously in a locker room post game. We're doing post game analysis with Matt, and this is how these things go. just looking at the year, and like, what was for you the biggest story, I guess, just in general for you personally, from this past season, this past calendar year, from January to a week before the end of the year in December here?
Are you talking about in the ECHL or in all of minor pro
whatever
hockey,
you want. You can ECHL, NHL, AHL. You can do Major League Baseball. I mean, you're a big Royals fan. I can see by your hat. It's a great time to be alive.
It is a great time to be a Royals fan. Ooh. You know, the biggest story for me was a CHL team in the Allen Americans and their first year in the ECHL walking in there and winning the Kelly Cup.
Yeah, that was a hell of a team. That was a hell of a team.
That is what I will forever remember about that team. They just walked in there, put their balls on the table, and took the trophy home.
Chad Costello is still scoring points from last year. Like that's how good he is.
Exactly.
I'll just put. You know what? Screw you. I'm putting up 4 points tonight. I don't care who you are, Tulsa Oilers. These things happen. But yeah, that was a hell of a team. And Steve Martinson is just a guy who's just like, you know what? We're just gonna run this like we've always run it, and screw everybody else who doesn't want to come aboard with us. I'm like, wow, that's a can-do attitude by this guy.
Is he? Let me ask you guys: Is Steve Martinson the best coach in minor pro hockey?
I thought he was for the longest time when he was in San Diego, back in the day. I always thought that he was a guy. He's almost a Belichick kind of person, where he has his system and he'll get the guys to play in that system, or else if you don't play in that system, boom, you're gone. I mean, he's going to find the guys he can plug in and be successful right off the bat. I don't know how much the Patanzos have in terms of their Steve Martinson watching.
He was really good in Roxanne.
Okay, well,
So-
that's Steve Martin. That's
Wait, what? Your nose made it on time, but you were 15 minutes late.
Zing, Johnny P. Here all week, folks.
Bazinga.
I love him. That Allen team was a force to be reckoned with. My goodness gracious. And then the AHL went to California, which is a goddamn disgrace. But whatever. That's another story for another time. 68 games. Come on, really? Couldn't put whatever.
That to me is storyline B as well, because I really thought the players would stand up and be like, we want 74, however many games the American League plays. The way that they did that is so screwed up. I hope they fix that with the schedules moving forward, because I don't see how you can have one group of teams, the incentive to move west is by playing 6 fewer games.
Yeah, it's absurd too, because then you have to do math with point percentages, and you have to play that game too. And I feel bad for Texas, the Texas Stars and the San Antonio Rampage, who have to play the full slate of 60 or 76 games, and these other guys are playing 8 less games, and you have to deal with, not only travel, but just figuring out how many points you need to win, how many point percentages you need to win, this, that, and the other. I'm just like, I hope, like you said, I hope it's just because they threw this together, haphazardly a couple months before the season. Just like, all right, well, we can't figure this out. Let's just throw 68 games. Let's make it that way. And then now here we are. Here we are just complaining about it. And they just had an outdoor game, so that was a thing. And that was they got rained out. They got rained out on an outdoor game. I love hearing that. I was just like, really? Are we playing 2 tomorrow? What's happening? Are we Ernie Banks in this?
That made my night. I was sitting there. And I was sitting there. I was pumped up. I was like, I'm gonna watch this game, and then they were like, yeah, it's raining. I'm like, yes, made my night. So
Done.
fucking jacked. I was like, boom, boom, boom. See you later.
That's normally the way I am too.
He's just jacked naturally like that.
Especially with Miss Columbia.
Hey, there he is. There it is again.
Keep bringing her up.
Why not? Bring her up. Because Steve Harvey kept doing it, and God only knows. It's just like... Top 5 answers on the board. I wish I could dress as good as Steve Harvey.
The biggest mistakes I've made in my career.
exactly.
Hosting the Miss Universe pageant. Oh, that is number 2.
Number 1 answer is Cedric the Entertainer and my coattails. Remember Cedric the Entertainer, guys? Ah, he was great. He was a good. That was a good time. Cedric the Entertainer.
I seen something somewhere where Steve Harvey has signed on to host the Miss Universe pageant, I think for 5 years.
They should have. Like, they should have broke that news as he was on stage. The executives just go up there and have him sign the contract.
I mean, he should just make it a shtick now. Now he should, because now no one's gonna. It's gonna be great live television, because now no one's gonna know who the actual winner is, even if he announces it. Everybody's gonna have to tune in till the end.
and that's just it. The good thing about this is that, you know, the representative from Turks and Caicos, they still have a chance, man. You don't know. Steve Harvey could say something really insane. It's going to be the best part about the whole show. And I, for one, hope to be in attendance next year.
Are you going to be Miss Canada?
No, I'm just going to get press credentials and cover it like I would a hockey game.
Where is
I'll take pictures.
Where is Miss Universe broadcast from?
Vegas. It's on the Strip.
Every year?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
What, they don't try to, like, you know, branch out to other parts of the universe?
No. Why would you?
Yeah, exactly. Where am I going to go? Am I going to go to, like, Denmark? Am I going to go there?
The irony in this case, though, is what happened in Vegas didn't stay there.
That's true.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
heard about it immediately.
Yeah.
Well, like they seriously make, like, I'm assuming there's a Miss Korea that was there. I Miss South Korea.
I think all of them are there.
But like
Philippines won.
They make Miss South Korea go all the way across the world every year. That seems. I mean, that would be like the Alaska Aces having to travel to the Florida Everblades every year.
That's true.
Oh, that'd be great. Oh, I would love to see. I would love to see that, and be like, all right, the ECHL sets out this challenge, but here's the thing: you can get there in 10 days, but you have to do it by bus, and you have to do it in December. Go get them, guys! It's like, oh shit! And then you got the Aces just traveling around. It becomes a mini-series. Epic's broadcast it. Liv Shriver's just doing the voiceover. It's a great time for everyone.
It doesn't matter. All I have to do is pick one of those two teams, and they're going to get snowed in whatever city they're in for like 2 weeks.
That is true. That is true because
that actually happened with the Allen Americans. They were, I think they were stopped.
Did I pick them, Scotty?
No, you didn't.
Oh, thank God.
What happened, Matt?
They were on their way to Idaho, and in eastern Colorado they got stopped. They spent 7 hours at a truck stop. And then they made it to Colorado. They made it to the Eagles and got about outside and come back because the road they were on was closed. And they stayed there for 20 hours and then eventually flew to Boise.
Wow. And then had to play a hockey game.
Yeah. You know what?
I'm too tired to like stay up for 2 episodes of a Netflix show after I travel for 9 hours. Like, I can't. How could you be expected
if you drive
to
home
like
from work on the Beltway in Washington? You're too tired.
Yeah,
to
like
watch
how can you be expected to perform at a high level in an athletic event at a professional level?
I don't know.
Ridiculous.
My thing is this, and I think we have, on the show have been pushing for this, and Matt, maybe you can help join our cause. The Idaho Steelheads are doing not only themselves, but the rest of the world a disservice.
Oh, disservice.
How so?
Okay.
And that's because they haven't had an outdoor game at Bronco Stadium.
That's true.
If we put an outdoor game in the blue turf, ladies and gentlemen, we are making. You know what? That's a license to print money. Maybe it's different faces on that money, but it'll be legal tender for now.
He's got his own
because you have to make the ice blue at that point, right? Because it doesn't matter if you have an outdoor rink and make it white ice, then it's just you have white ice on top of blue turf. That doesn't make any difference. What they need to do is do with that. Who was it a few years ago that made the ice pink for Valentine's Day?
Everyone.
Yeah.
So let's follow everyone's example.
Yeah.
And jump off that bridge.
I mean, how much food dye do you need in order to make an entire ice rink blue?
Not much.
I don't feel like it's that much.
I learned from Bob
Ross. You paint the concrete underneath, and then you hose it down, and away you go.
Well, blue was a very strong color. I learned from Bob Ross.
It's true.
Blue, you don't need much blue to make a very, very powerful blue.
Yes, and the trees are very happy.
Yes.
I think it was Mahatma Gandhi or Eiffel 65 that said "Blue abadi abada, abadi abada."
No.
Blue
That's not what it is. I'm blue. If I was green, I would die.
I think you're a liar.
No, yeah, that's what the lyrics are. I'm blue. If I was green, I would die.
I don't know.
That's a slant. Did Kermit the Frog ever have issues with that?
Probably.
Yeah.
He might not have heard the song.
There might have been like a rap battle that we never knew about.
Look it up. I'm pretty sure if it's I'm blue. If I was green, I would die.
All right. Eiffel 65.
There we go. Didn't even have to look it up. There we go.
Blue Abadi Abada Abadi Abada Abada Abadi. It's Elmer Fudd, lead singer of Eiffel 65. Literally, it's
Porky
blue.
Pig?
It's blue, and in parentheticals, it's da Badi. Like it's.
Yeah, it's confusing.
It's you know what? Eiffel 65 is weird, and I'm glad they only had one hit.
It only took us 20 years.
It only took us so many years, and well, here we are today.
If the Blue Band Group covered that, though, would that be okay?
I think
They haven't yet. They're missing out.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, Eiffel 65 is Italian. That explains a lot.
What's that supposed to mean, Scott?
You know what I mean. You know what I
They're
mean.
leaning? Is that what it is?
Exactly. They're leaning, and Stan doesn't want them in the funeral parlor.
That's true. That is true. That is actually a true statement.
Yeah.
Stan wanted to kick all Italians out of the funeral.
Yeah, it was really weird. So that was a fun time.
Yes, just me.
It was only Johnny, and Stan just literally doesn't even say hi. I thought we kept you Italians out of here.
It's true. That's how he greeted me.
Away we go.
But he didn't say it to me. He actually said it to Jen.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like she was supposed to do something. She's got 5-inch heels on. Sure, she's taller than Johnny at that point, but
Yeah, but my hair was up.
that's true. It was a
Hair gives me 3 more inches, ladies.
there it is.
Yeah.
See, this is the high quality stuff that you want in your face-off hockey show, especially the Christmas episode.
Yeah, Christmas.
Yeah, Jesus. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm trying to think of what else can we. You got anything on your mind in terms of just anything in life, Matt? Like, you got anything?
I'll
you got
answer
anything just
anything
eating
at this
at?
point, really.
What's,
It doesn't even have to be hockey related.
exactly. What's in your crawl right now?
Well,
What's-
you
Go
know,
ahead.
thanks for teeing me up. I did come to the party. I did bring something to the party.
Let's hear it.
I found a story that I thought you guys would like, and which one of you guys is the newlywed?
That's me.
Okay.
Although I'm not showing it, I left it at home for some reason.
Yeah, he
I
forgot his ring at home.
forgot my ring at home.
That's a different story entirely.
Well, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
And second of all, don't be this guy.
Okay.
Dateline, Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Florida, of course.
A woman is facing a charge of battery for fighting with her husband who could not stop farting. Donald Fitzroy Meikle told police his wife, Dawn, elbowed him in the arm when he passed gas in bed.
Okay.
Meikle said she eventually kicked him out of bed because he could not stop farting. The victim said his wife let him back into bed. He farted again. She started to kick and elbow him again. Meikle said he held his wife for his own safety. During the struggle, she suffered a split lip and he suffered several scratches to his chest. She also sprayed pepper spray to keep her husband out of the bedroom.
Wow.
That would only make me fart more.
Yeah.
Right. Like, that's counterproductive.
Yeah. I mean, my God. That probably lets out a lot of weird noises.
So, I've got so many questions. It's Florida.
Count anything that comes out of Florida at this point?
No. I mean, the most outrageous stories come out of Florida.
No, but I understand. They're true. But I feel like you should be able to discount all of them.
No, I don't think so. I think this is what makes the world go round.
We found a road that was called Hiatus Road that literally fucking stopped.
Sure,
It's
but
not
at the
just a clever
same
name.
time, that's bad Department of Transportation. That's land plotting. We can't blame the entire state for that. What we can blame the entire state for is blondies in Fort Lauderdale for being that, and also allowing smoking in bars. Let's just put it that way. Just
That's
smoking
true.
in bars in general, still in Florida. We can blame them for that.
So my first two questions is really a two-parter.
Yeah.
The first one is,
So is that 4
did
questions?
she file any charges? And the second part is, if she did, was it in self-defense at that point?
She was actually arrested for domestic battery.
So he filed charges.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, she overreacted a little bit.
She called the police. He filed charges.
She called the police on what?
For farting, obviously.
Does the story delve into what he ate?
Yeah, that's the next question.
Yeah, because if she
does
cooked
not.
dinner for him, then that in itself,
that's
right
entrapment.
there, yes, I agree.
Well, not anymore. He let it out.
No, but she was trying to get him to fart in bed.
Yeah.
I mean
that was her MO.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do shit like that. Pun intended.
No.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's very true.
He could have had some bad marathon burritos. I don't know. It does not say in the story.
You know what could have happened is the guy showed up at the Taco Bell box.
That's it. And she wasn't happy. I mean, she was the one that didn't cheer when he came in.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, obviously. She
Oh,
wasn't cheering later either.
Oh,
But if Jesus
Josiah,
was
why'd
with
you bring
that
the Taco
entourage, she
Box?
would have been fine. Because she would have had wine.
You know, I've seen people on Urban Dictionary that appreciate that sort of thing. The Dutch oven situation.
Are they Dutch?
No.
But that's where, you fart under the covers and you trap your significant other in
What
there.
does the Dutch oven cook?
Well,
Resentment.
yeah. Assault.
And assault, apparently.
Pepper spray. Keep you out of the bed.
It slow burns that assault.
See, assault. First off, was the headline assault and pepper spray? Because if not, they will have missed out on a big opportunity.
Well done. No. The headline reads, police.
But I bet you that the entire time he was saying, push it real good.
And because she needed the money, DJ Spinderella was just outside the window.
Watching. She was actually the lead witness.
Yeah.
She was the first responder to the scene.
That's how far.
Is there a way to follow this story to the end? I want to know what.
I kind of want to see. At this point, I kind of want to see the like courtroom sketches.
Yes, or take it to Judge Judy. I want to see this
Oh, that would be
televised.
nice.
What do you think her bail was set at?
It was probably at least 2 cans of baked beans.
Yeah.
Does it give it an age, Matt, on these people?
It does not.
I was gonna guess.
But I mean, she looks rough.
Well, it's Florida, so that she could be anywhere from 23 to 74.
That's
because meth's a hell of a thing down there.
It is. Also, isn't that where that zombie like people eating other people drugs started as well? Except the bath salts was in Florida, I think. Also.
Was that? I thought that was California.
Was it California?
I think it was California.
Thought it was California.
Okay.
Yeah. Watch it be like southeastern Kentucky.
I'm sure Florida was jealous then.
Oh, of course they were. They're just like, well, we need something crazier. Let's elect Jeb Bush. And they did that, and we had a bunch of
bath salts right now. Do you think I'm on a watch list if I Google bath salts?
Yeah, I
right
don't
now?
think you should.
All right.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in California where the guy was eating a homeless guy, and he was on bath salts, and they shot him dead. It was a fun time. That was a fun time to be alive. I remember those days. The good old days when you just go on Twitter and have yourself a nice little fond time of people eating each other on bath salts.
What do you think? See, all right. So this begs the question because we're reaching the end of 2015.
We sure
2015 may have been the year of the transition from Twitter being news, breaking news, to now Instagram being breaking news.
That's true. That is true.
As we've found.
Yeah.
Well, I think Twitter is still breaking news.
Columbia.
Instagram is more like the press release now. We don't need PR people.
It's true. You're right. You're exactly right. Twitter is the breaking news. Instagram is the press release.
The wire
apology.
service.
Yeah. So like in 3 years, where are we going to be? Because in 3 years, Google Cardboard and virtual reality from your phone may be a thing. Are we going to be watching press releases and press conferences in 3 dimensions? What's our next immediate news outlet going to be that we haven't? Because I'm asking because I want to invent it and be rich. So if you guys have any ideas,
social media is cyclical. We're going back to Friendster and LiveJournal. That's how it's going to happen. and then when we get back there, it's gonna start asunder again, and we're fine.
So I'm gonna have a GeoCities website in a sec.
Of course, you're gonna have those
I
frames.
can't wait until GeoCities comes back because our store will be like in vogue.
Oh yeah, it's true.
And people will
that's
go
right.
to
Our
it.
Cafe
The
Press
Cafe
store.
Press store.
I better
That
go reserve
somehow
my
is still
Rocket Mail
surviving
account.
After all these years.
I think I still actually have a MySpace account.
I do. I checked mine like 2 weeks ago.
Why?
Oh,
Never had one.
Oh, really? My goodness.
Never had one.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
proud
smart.
of you.
You're much
Scott,
smarter than us.
Why did what possessed you to log back? Like what was the thought process for you?
I was
Hold
bored on a
No, here's
Thursday.
a better question.
Okay.
How the fuck did you remember your password?
Because my password is the same thing for everything. And here's what
One,
you do, Johnny.
One,
Probably an
2,
issue.
3, 4, 5.
Here's what you do. You send forgot. Exactly. You send forgot password, and then you hope to God you still have access to that email address. That's what you do.
That's true. My AOL email address is gone. So.
No, yeah.
Luckily, my Hotmail's still up and running.
Have you tried logging back into AIM recently?
Oh God, no.
Just for shits and gigs to see if anybody is still logged in?
no.
No.
You should. I mean, I haven't either, but I mean,
You
somebody. So what? Someone, right? We all had like at least 100 to 200 people on that list that we probably never talked to. But do you think
It's
anyone?
like Facebook.
One out of like 200 people probably. Are they? Is somebody still logged in?
What if you went on to AIM and just changed your away message?
Like now?
Yeah.
If a tree falls in the forest.
It has to be lyrics to something, obviously.
What if you changed it to lyrics of like a Taylor Swift song from 2015 and people are like, people sign into AIM randomly in 2025 and they're like, hold on.
Wait a second, did I?
That's from 10 years ago. Were you logged into AIM 10 years ago?
Then you're like, I never logged off. Where'd you guys go? What's a Gmail?
So the nerdy question about all of this is, why is AOL devoting server resources to AIM still? Because you can still log into it.
People use it. I use it at work.
Oh, so that's why they're trying to become a business entity.
Yeah. Obviously.
Oh, okay. What's your work AIM name? I'm gonna send you things.
Actually, I can't log in at work anymore because they want me to call in order to change my password. And I told them I don't really care that much.
Everything that Kirby sends me, I'm just gonna forward to your AIM
So
at
my
work.
AIM account at work.
Good luck.
Oh, God. Well, that brings us to this question, Matt. What was your first social media experience? Where did you go? Were you the MySpace? Did you go to the Friendster? Where were you? Where'd you go to?
I was actually on AOL and AIM.
Oh,
Yeah.
the best part, the AOL chat rooms back in the day.
Yep.
The
I went-
ASL, if you were.
Yes, I went AOL and then Yahoo.
Nice.
Okay.
Yahoo I still have a Yahoo account only for fantasy sports. I get dick
Mhm.
pill.
Isn't it amazing, though, if you look back through the progression, everyone had an AOL email, a Yahoo email, a Hotmail email, and a Gmail email.
In that order, usually.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a Lycos in the middle, like those weird people.
Well, I had a Rocket Mail at the beginning.
Rocket Mail.
That was
Sending all
my
the
very
emails up
first
there,
email
huh?
address. Was a Rocket Mail email address.
Interesting.
I logged into it from Netscape.
Ooh.
Of course you did. Why wouldn't you?
Ooh,
Did
Netscape.
any of you guys have Prodigy?
Yeah, we started with Prodigy, I think.
Yeah, that was like a fire starter, if I remember.
Didn't they send us like 53 hours? Yeah, good work.
Thank you.
53 hours.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I actually
fire
have that
starter.
on my iPhone.
Yeah. That was good. I missed that one.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
So I was talking to somebody earlier this week, and they were telling me how they were going to Carolina, and one of their friends was going to California. And I looked at them, and I said, "Huh, that's a Joe DiMessina song."
And
they looked at me like I was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I was
Head
like,
Wow.
apparently you don't
Head
listen.
to Carolina, Tails, California.
Yeah.
There
See?
it
So
is.
you flipped heads.
Perfect.
That's why we always hope for a Hurricanes or Anaheim Ducks Stanley Cup final.
Oh,
We
God,
use
that would be
line
amazing.
over and over again. That wouldn't get sick. No one would get sick of that.
No.
Never.
We'd only have to do it like at most 7 times.
At least.
I mean, really only twice because it's not like we're flipping for every game.
That's true. It's very true.
Although, let's be honest, at that point I could just flip a coin because heads is obviously California and tails is Carolina. Or no.
No,
Heads
the
is
other way
Carolina
around.
and tails is California.
You pull
I
up.
don't even have to choose.
Jesus.
Do you remember the year that that the quarter chose the Stanley Cup Finals exactly to the game?
Was it a quarter or an octopus?
No, we used the quarter because
Yeah, we used it. It was on our show.
Sorry.
But then I had a quarter that I flipped for the Stanley Cup Finals.
Was that 06?
I don't know. It was amazing though.
Yeah, Carolina. It might have been the Carolina Hurricanes one. I don't know. Matt, do you have an NHL team, Matt, out there in Wichita?
I do not.
Oh.
Have you ever seen the Wichita Wings indoor soccer team play?
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I have a Baltimore Blast jersey actually.
Somewhere in my house, I have an autograph picture, I believe, from Chico Borja.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That is old school right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His name really that is really old school. His name really was Chico Borja.
Chico Borja.
Yeah, it sounds made up, but not.
No.
It sounds like a guy who's in a Telelatina novella. It's really really good. Right before Sábado Gigante.
Sábado Gigante with Chico Borja.
Perfect. See? Now we can just pitch this to whatever the Univision. There it is.
So, by the way, the next time we can do this shtick, Friday, February 19th. So we have to, on Wednesday, February the 17th, Carolina is at home against the San Jose Sharks.
There it is.
Perfect.
And that's actually the last time for the rest of the season, so we better do it.
Yeah, we better mark it.
I have coins upstairs.
Yeah.
I hope so. Hope so. You're a referee. You need your coin. You flip it, and then they pick the ball, and they pick.
I have Australian money. Does Australian money work also?
No, I think the problem is that it's damage. I was going to make a convict joke, and I couldn't think of one.
No, so what I was thinking is that if you flip it in the air, someone steals it. So that was my thought, was that you don't want to flip Australian money in the air.
But here's the thing. With Australian money, you can't flip it up. You have to flip it down, and then it bounces up.
Oh.
I see.
Because they're down under.
Because it's backwards.
Well, if you were Missy Elliott, I can't do that, sorry.
Yeah.
You're going to flip it and reverse it, Johnny? Is that what you're going to do?
I am way too drunk to bring out Missy Elliott lyrics.
But you're drunk in a tuxedo, so you're classy, Dean Martin.
It's true. That is true. And I'm wearing a purple shirt with a tuxedo.
Mm-hmm. I love it. It's the best. You're showing that Mount
Very
St.
wintry.
Joe pride.
Yeah. Very St. Joe-ish.
Very St. Joe-ish. Hail alma mater.
Hail all hail.
Exactly. I miss Dave Norton. He's not dead or anything. I just don't show up.
By
the way,
I mean, really?
I got the donation book for Mount St. Joe the other day saying, hey.
And you thought that was the best nation?
The best nation.
The best nation in the world's donation. I saw my name on there. I'm like, wow, I'm one of like 7 people who donated from the class of 2001.
And I bet Gavin Floyd wasn't on there.
He was not.
Mm.
He's like, screw you guys.
For kids.
I don't think.
Yeah. Have you seen that story?
No.
Yeah, he
he's buying legs
bought
for
a kid a set of legs.
Show off.
It's amazing, actually. They had tigers on them.
Yeah, it was really weird.
So I couldn't help but notice we don't have a league this week, Scott.
No, we're gonna prolong this because I'm too lazy to pick something, and I had Christmas with my kid this year. Or today. That was another thing I did. Aside from shaving my head, I had Christmas with my kid, and that was a fun time. So I forgot to mention that.
We should make a movie.
What's that?
I shaved my head and I had Christmas with my kid. I feel like that might be on Lifetime.
Yeah, it could be on Lifetime, and Joanne Kearns is there, or
Joe Montana shows up at some point.
Joe Montana is the guy who shaved his head. He's trying to get his kid back, but then the mother did something, and then the best friend leaves the mother in her time of need, but then the best friend comes back and shoots the guy trying to steal the kid.
Right.
Basically,
Joe Montana with no hair.
It's Lifetime 101 at that point.
Brittany always gets mad at me because she turns on Lifetime movies like right when they start, and about 10 minutes into it, I tell her exactly what's going to happen for the rest of the movie.
Of course.
It's a blueprint.
It is.
And it's also it's like programming because I feel like it always paints the husband in a terrible picture, and it's subliminally telling all of like the women watching Lifetime that their husbands are evil.
Sometimes they're not wrong. Sometimes there are a bunch of scumbags out there. Sometimes it's in reverse. That's why I'm single, ladies. That's a lie.
Crazy.
Well, yeah, that's too. Yeah, it's kind of. It's a little bit. It's the my thing with this. My thing with women is this. I'm not gonna say it because then we'll get in trouble, and then Twitter will be all abuzz, and then will happen.
And all of a sudden, we'll start trending. That happens all the time.
And then we'll get the most popularity we've ever had since we almost got that job at XM, and then it'll all go by the wayside like the XM job did because lockout will happen. I don't know. This twisted fun life. Tell you what. Any plans for Christmas there, Mr. Harding?
Got family in town, so we'll be hanging with family tomorrow and Friday, and then I'm back at work on Saturday, so no rest for the wicked.
Boxing Day coming up. You training? You training for your Boxing Day match against the weather?
Yeah, actually, we're expecting a snowstorm down here on Sunday, so I'll be getting loose.
Nice. That's good. I like that. Going to shadow box the entire time. It's going to be a good time.
So it sounds like you don't really get snow days, though. Can you work from home?
No, I wish I could.
Like, it sounds like it sounds like you should be able to just, like... I guess the question is, how far away from the airport that you work do you live?
I'm maybe 15 minutes.
Okay.
So it's not very far at all, and I'm literally a half mile from the airport terminal. So
I feel like you should be able to just get one of those, long distance walkie-talkies set up.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at the same clouds, probably.
Or
Probably.
at least a soup can with a string.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you should maybe send it up the chain, see if they agree or disagree. But working from home, I think is pretty cool. You might want to look into that. If you could like just shoot it with a walkie-talkie, be like, you should really tell them. It looks like the clouds, especially if you live south of and or west, because that's I feel like where the weather usually comes from, south and west.
Always.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you live. So you could actually pitch it that you warn them before things are going to get to them, like 15 minutes early.
Right.
Like Roxanne.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. I love how this all comes together. It's amazing.
I'll work on the long distance walkie and tin can idea.
Okay. I'll make some big spreadsheet or type like a PowerPoint for you.
Okay.
Mark is an engineer. He can make these things work.
Yeah, like I'll get some pie charts in there, some Google Maps.
If you put the string underground too, weather wouldn't affect it.
Oh, it's true. But then it doesn't vibrate.
It's true.
That's the whole point of a string, because of the sound vibrations.
Feel the vibrations.
Yeah. The string would work.
Are they good?
Good vibrations.
Yeah. Come on,
sweet vibration.
Oh, God. That's fun. By the way, we all know the story of Boxing Day, right? Sir Arthur McGilvery in 1894 boxed a kangaroo in Wales. Yep. And that's how this all started, ladies and gentlemen. And we remember Sir Arthur McGilvery. He went to the hospital and had stitches to his face because he didn't realize kangaroos could sit on their tails and kick. And he thought that was unfair, and therefore he won by disqualification under the Marquis of Queensberry rules. So we all go and fight different animals. I'll be punching a cat on Boxing Day. So hopefully to you and yours, you can box the family pet of your home and go like that. And that's what's that?
Yeah.
That's not you can't punch house pets. Well,
only if they fart in bed.
Why didn't someone tell me this? You're supposed to be on that. That's a good line, Mark.
No, you can definitely punch them, Scotty.
You're supposed to be on that. I don't care if you're 9 years old and it's past your bedtime. You should be on this for me. Go to Daddy loves you. Go to bed.
She's always been in the closet.
That's true.
No, I mean she does her research in his wardrobe closet.
That's true. That's true.
Maybe
she lives in Narnia and she just comes back every now and then. I don't know.
To tell us stories.
Yeah.
Actually, she's 21. We just have this weird thing. Never mind. It's just these things happen. Don't worry.
Did you know what you were getting into?
Yeah, Matt, did you understand? Like,
I have actually watched your show a few times.
Oh, wait, so you're the guy. Okay.
Yeah, I am. I am.
That's true.
We appreciate that.
I am that guy.
We love it. And Johnny has a mug that says he's that guy, too.
I have the mug.
He has a mug because...
And you're big in Japan.
I'm huge in Japan. It's probably a height joke.
It's probably a height joke. We don't know. We'll speak into that later. So, all right, gentlemen, I think we'll wrap this up. We'll go around the room and we'll let shout outs, and we start with Johnny with the shout outs, then we'll
Jesus,
go with Mark.
it's 9:30 already.
It is.
I know. Time flies when we have a good guest on, and that's why we have Matt Harding on for the Cinebin.net. For all your minor league coverage, go to the Cinebin.net. See, you throw plugs in there before you get to the shout outs. Johnny, go ahead.
I have a shout out to Christmas. Thank you, Jesus, for being born.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had a lot to do with it, considering that Mary never really had sex. So you just kind of showed up.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, right. Hooker.
That was a different Mary. That was the other Mary.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's actually dead on.
Yeah.
I have a shout out to Jesus' entourage.
I'm waiting for.
You should show up at every party, to be honest, especially the guy that has the Taco Bell box.
Yeah.
10 tacos. I mean, who in their right mind would turn you away, even if you're Judas?
He won't deny you 3 times that night.
I have a shout out to Jesus being at all your parties.
Never mind.
You should always truth of the matter, people. Figure this out, especially for New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve is coming up. Always invite somebody that can turn water into wine.
Mm-hmm.
It saves you a lot of money.
Does. He's not wrong, ladies and gentlemen.
I speak the truth on this side of the
Wine
microphone.
cubes.
What I was always confused about though
See,
was
Matt's gonna steal your idea now.
what I'm telling you.
You
wine-
said it
don't-
on the
you better
air,
not-
and he's gonna be like, "I'm selling wine cubes, people."
The Sin Bin presents wine cubes.
Yeah.
What do you think would
That's going to
happen?
be in the new store. At checkout, if you buy $50 worth of stuff, we'll give you a free thing of wine cubes.
Wine cubes.
Because I mean,
In
there
a
are
3-pound bag. Could you imagine 3 pounds of wine cubes? That's
a lot
amazing.
of cubes. Like what? How? Damn it! You can pour wine into those little ice cube trays, and
Do
you could
people
get-
still have ice cube trays?
IKEA still
do.
sells them, so
Who
yeah.
still has an ice cube tray? Who in this world doesn't have a refrigerator that makes ice cubes?
Me, but that's because I have a college fridge.
Don't?
I don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
But your refrigerator's connected to Wi-Fi, isn't it?
Yeah, I can watch TV on the refrigerator.
That's true.
So give a little to get a little. I
Yeah.
understand.
Now I understand.
No, they do actually make those, which is insane.
They make. Hold on. They still make refrigerators that don't have ice cube.
I don't know. I mean, the refrigerator.
Start
I
on
didn't
the
buy the
Wi-Fi.
refrigerator. It came with the house.
Well, you're renting. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
not up
maybe
to
your
me.
next refrigerator is going to have ice cube dispenser.
Like, is this the sort of situation where it's so outdated that I need to call the landlord because it's a health hazard?
No, it's not.
I'm
health hazard.
sorry. I don't have ice cubes being made by this piece of machinery in front of me.
So
This has to be so outdated. It is affecting
I have
my.
a question though. Have you taken the ice cube trays and made wine cubes yet?
True enough. See?
No, but I need to. I'm gonna
See?
try.
Now you've screwed up for an entire year.
See, I feel like white wine cubes are going to be way easier to
That
make than
is
red wine
fucked
cubes.
up.
Well, you don't chill the red wine.
No, but people are getting drunk now and they don't even know why. Because you gave them clear white wine ice cubes.
That's there you go. They should have known.
That is like Crosby date rapes waiting to happen.
Whoa,
Wow!
You mean Cosby?
Oh, not Crosby.
Yeah, not
Not
Crosby.
Crosby.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, you never know.
Wow. Make it Nigella. Anyway. Anything else shout-outs wise, Johnny? I don't know how we got off.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Jello pudding pops.
Perfect.
As well.
You can
Attaboy.
put wine in those too.
It's true, actually.
It's all the same.
No, you put vodka in the Jello pudding pops. Why would you put wine in there? That just tastes weird.
Yeah, maybe Kahlua.
Kahlua. Oh, in the chocolate ones.
Yeah,
That'd be
but they're
fantastic.
only like Man, it's only like 20% alcohol.
I think that's enough shout-outs for me. I'm digging myself a hole at this point.
Attaboy. Mark.
Give a shout out to Black Russians.
Okay. Shout out to Amory.
We'll find out. We'll figure one out. What to call the Black Russians? Because Caucasian, the dude, but there was no milk in the house. We had to improvise.
That's true. I was not asked that question though before you showed up.
Yeah, I know. I just sort of assume who doesn't have milk. You ask me who doesn't have a refrigerator that makes ice cubes.
So this was the question that I got before Mark showed up. Do you have vodka? And I said yes. He never asked me if I had milk.
What percentage of American homes do you think have milk?
I'm not growing anymore. Why would I still be drinking milk?
It's at least 2%.
I haven't grown since middle school.
You got to keep the bones strong.
That's true. That's what Viagra's for.
There it is.
Well, Miss Columbia will appreciate it.
Oh, a minute. 90 seconds.
Shout out to traveling for Christmas, I guess. We wouldn't be here otherwise, so shout out to traveling for Christmas. We made our way up. It took us an hour and a half to get 30 miles.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. It was raining cats and dogs.
Raining of biblical proportions of rain.
Yeah.
What do you have to call that in, Matt? At what point is it biblical? Because I feel like you're of the four of us, you're the authority. At what point is it considered biblical? Because we were talking, there is a line between partly cloudy and mostly cloudy. There has to be a line of biblical proportions of rain.
When I can walk out the door and float.
That's okay.
Okay.
All right.
So you're literally saying you're walking on water.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Can
We were close.
you change water into wine?
I cannot.
I figured I would ask. I mean, we have you on the show.
Hey, worth a shot.
Yeah.
I would have thought that the line was when there were two zebras walking down the street.
That's a joke.
Oh, shit.
It's got to be your bull.
And shout out to Matt for joining us for a little while. It's good having you on. We'll have to have you back.
Yep.
And shout out to all of Scotty's hair.
Oh.
Farewell.
Do I have to pour some on the concrete for that?
Yeah, you might want to. Oh,
I'm good.
Gracious. All right. Matt Harding of the Simbin.net, your shout-outs for tonight.
Shout out to you, Scotty. Thank you very much for coming on board and for being the powerhouse that you've been for our site and for helping us take us into places where I don't think we would have went if it weren't for you. So thank you very much, and thank you for the invite tonight. Let's do this again more often because this is fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have to do it one night where I'm able to drink.
Yes.
I'm sorry, the tux is only for one time only.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Maybe next time it's just the tux T-shirt.
Maybe next time I'll suit up.
There you go.
There you go.
So I'll go Barney Stinson on you.
It doesn't matter. I'm not wearing pants anyway, so.
That's about right.
Yep.
It's been an awkward 2 hours.
Oh, I bet.
Come on, you're my brother. You've seen something.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
You gotta love when new people come on the show and they don't understand.
We're the same person. That's the joke.
Sean Leahy's really confused right now.
There is actually somebody who thinks that because everybody is, people who work with the Sin Bin are identified as Sin Bin Cyclone, Sin Bin Thunder, Sin Bin this, and there's actually somebody, bless her heart, for thinking this, but they think that they are all figments of our site owner's imagination. So those things happen.
That's actually a good shtick. I like that.
I don't know. I've talked to Joe for a decent amount of time. I think that could be possible. That's a plausible idea.
It is plausible.
If I hadn't met all those people before, then I would say, you know what, maybe Joe and Matt are onto something here with the persona thing, and I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, and we, like I said, bless her heart, we kind of lead her down that road. That these are all parts of his imagination coming to life. This guy has like 42 personalities, but but after a while the ruse is up. But so shout out to Scotty, shout out to Christmas, and to and finally a shout out to Yamir Yager's teeth.
Yes.
Oh, rest in peace.
We should pour some water or beer or whatever on the floor for that. But and farewell to Scotty's hair. So that's all I got.
Farewell to the hair. All right. Well, I'll have to do this bald, do a new start, and we'll do it this way because it's really hot in this hat, and because these lights are killing me.
Can you detect where we are at all times?
What's that?
With your special helmet that you wear?
Is that a milk reference?
No, that was a Professor X reference.
Okay, I get it. That's a good one.
Or was that powder?
That was powder.
Well, that was the next one.
Powder bent spoons. I'm not that white. Shout out to.
If you had a goatee though, you would look a lot like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You would.
What? I would. I've gone down that path, but I don't like the mustache. I'm just like, that's the.
Who doesn't like mustaches?
Well, me apparently. I can't rock it. See, if you put my head of hair with Matt's goatee, we got the perfect Stone Cold, and away we go.
That's a weird love child.
It is. It's weird. Obviously, artificial insemination. Make it happen that way. We'll put it in a test tube, and the kid will be drinking beers and hosing down Vince McMahon with a beer truck or something. So
that would be incredible.
That would be great. We got to make this happen somehow, some way. Right next to the wine cubes, we'll put that in the second most important thing to do list. Shout out to Matt and Joe for giving me the avenue of the Sinbin.net as a nice little platform, an already established platform rather than going on my own like I was. And the crew there is awesome. So all the Sinbin people have been fantastic and doing great work on and off. Just everything they've been able to do on the ice, off the ice. It's been tremendous what they've been able to dig up. So shout out to them. Shout out to the Batanza boys being in the same place at the same time for the first time since the Big Stand Invitational, I believe, on the show.
Maybe on the show.
Not.
We can go with the.
I saw you both
very rarely. Mark and I are in the same room, according to Sean Leahy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean Leahy. Take that.
Is Giuseppe coming down?
Not this year, I don't think.
All right,
He'll be here in a bit.
Maybe next year.
Shout out to Christmas happening today with the kiddo. That was fun. Shout out to Snow Tires because that's what I got last week. I'm like, yeah, Snow Tires. That's how I know.
Did they inform you at all?
I'm gonna look up snow tires on Urban Dictionary.
Informer. Great line, Johnny. I love it. But the problem is if it gets too hot, the tires will melt. See, because they're made out of snow. Oh, God.
I just flew in, and boy, are my arms tired.
Oh, and shout out to the girl for getting. I forgot to promote this, but we were having so much fun. The girl got me this book. It's the history of the NHL hockey jerseys from 1983 to 1993. And it could be the greatest book I've ever seen in my life because not only does it give you a rundown of the season and the manufacturer and the material and the logo at the hem, but also patches and all kinds of other crazy crap. And it could be the most comprehensive book of jerseys I've ever seen in my life.
Are there more versions of that? Like different years, I mean, I guess?
This is the first one.
Hilton books in like how you fix your car type of thing?
Yeah, well, no, he's trying to get funding for the next book because he did this all on his own dime.
If it's on Kickstarter, I'll find it.
Yeah, it's a limited run. Go to thejerseybook.com is where you go, and just the different stuff he was able to find. It's a limited run of 1,000, and I got number 300 something, so they're going fast in a big, big way. But yeah, just all the crazy crap that they have in here, and the Vancouver Canucks section alone is worth the price of admission. So, and also the fun fact that I found that the Pittsburgh Penguins didn't use tackle twill stitching until 1989. It was heat pressed the entire time.
That's because they were jerks.
And they were cheap. So that was cool, and I thank the girl for getting me that because she is the coolest, and she knows just exactly what to get me because I'm that easy to buy for. And that's a lie. So that's it. That's all. She knows how hard I am to buy for. I'm so glad I said to buy for.
That was a really weird pause
Yep.
that you put into that sentence, by the way.
Stopped if. Yep, but she knows. Wink.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll cut that pause out in post.
Yeah, what you do? Cut that out and send it to her.
Or yeah, make it longer.
Yeah, or make it long. True story. Actually, it'll be like a Steve Harvey type of instance.
Yeah. I came out. I made a mistake. I'm not that long. Oh, Steve.
God.
Anyway,
Well,
that's it.
Scotty, I look forward to seeing your next plan to thwart Superman.
That's good.
Good
That
Lex
is-
Luthor one. I like that one.
That is good.
Oh God. No, what I'm
It
doing
looks
is
like a really old leprechaun, kind of.
I'm good.
No, and all joking aside, it looks good, Scotty. I think you should keep it.
I'm gonna go on
It's like
100
a red beard and a bald head.
I'm gonna have a 100 win streak and then lose it to Hulk Hogan, Goldberg. Anyway,
I do like it, Scotty. Though, nice work.
it has. I've worn it well. Here's the it's what it's brisket, whatever Telly Savalas said, lollipop, whatever.
You have a good head for shaving too. I have a scar right in the middle of my head.
Dude, I don't have. I'm bleeding like Abdullah the Butcher every time. I've got so many cuts up here. It's amazing. It's like I've been hit in the head with a steel chair more than once, which is true. But I don't like it shown. I could cover it up with the thinning hair. Anyway, we'll get into that for the other podcast. The Hair Club for Scotty podcast coming up this coming year, 2016, to the Face Off Hockey Show Network.
Might as well. We have plenty of bandwidth left.
Exactly. We got all this bandwidth. We have nothing to do with it. We're going to do a wrestling show. We're going to do all the hair show. We might do a wine cube show. Who's to say? Who's to say what we're doing, folks? It's just going to be a shop-at-home network thing we're going to
Wine
have.
cubes are the best.
Wine cubes. I'm telling you, it's the wave of the future.
And we could have Ice Cube go ahead and promote it. Boom.
Yeah, but not
That's a
iced tea
twist.
because the wine cubes in the iced tea would be bad.
That'd be awful.
Yeah.
I think that's called the scissor. I don't know. I'm not hip on the urban culture these days. I got to talk to the kids. I got to mingle with the kids again. See what's hip, what's happening. All right, that's it. That's all. For Johnny P. Mark with the C, Matt Harding, I'm Scotty Watts. Take care of yourself and someone else. It's been Face Off Hockey Show on FaceOffHockeyShow.com. That's our Tumblr. Face Off HCKY Show is our Twitter, and FOHS Radio is our Facebook. So when we talk to you, I think next week maybe we will have to do that in post. Say enjoy all the social media to see where we're going to be at, how, when, and where, and why. So we talk to you next. Peace.